Goddamn, man. Alcohol is the fucking devil, and I will never drink again. He says every time. Oh, fuck. So, day 3 of quarantine. Last night, after getting off the stream, I got insanely drunk, and I received a call from one of the Boog crew to this whole thing. Hey, look, it's Lil Homie. And he says, hey, yo, I think you need to talk to Lil Homie. I never drink Gatorade canteen at Rusted, though. I guess you really can't store liquids in them long term. It's not what they're for. Like, drink out of it or empty it, as opposed to, but like, you can cook an Nalgene and they're BPA free. So to be perfectly honest, Nalgene master race. But I made a protein shake in my Nalgene, and I can't seem to get the vanilla. One was what the fuck was it? A lime cucumber, which was a really interesting one. I'm like, what are we in Japan? Like, I feel like that's a soda you would see in Japan. And that one news that I might be immune to COVID, not Corvid. I watched that record of people's sadism. Yeah, most of it was basically just like a record of people's sadism. F. I have a sore, and I'm sorry. I do have coffee. I have coffee cooling off, so once that's cool, I'll probably pep up a little bit because I feel too dead. I'm just gonna try to either go for a run or a walk, then get some stuff done that I got to get done. But I'm not sure how well we'd be able to do it over here in the Southeast, because I am fairly certain that some igloos would occur. I need to check in on my California homeboy. I know that he just got into a relationship, so he's probably paying a lot more attention to his. Hey, look, it's Atomic Puppet. Yeah. I'm off work indefinitely. Yes. Thankfully, I have a lot of really great friends and family who are helping me through this, and I have got to find a way to unfuck the situation. Anyway, Matthew White says I have a radiator. Yeah, there's my radiator right there. It's not even cold anymore, but oh my gosh. And my brother, as he was leaving, I was so sick I didn't think about it, but I should have sent him out for razors. I don't have a fucking, maybe he has one. But he buys cheapos, man. I like the I feel like Schick's a woman's brand, but no, it's a dude's razor. And honestly, even if it was pink, what the fuck do I care? Clive Winston in the house says, hell yes, another stream. How did your deep dive into Chris Chan go last night? I don't know. I don't remember much of it. I just remember clips of seeing him dressed as a woman. And then the question being asked, how did we get here? And I basically drank a liter of vodka. That container is half empty. It was almost completely full yesterday. It's 1.75 liters. So math. How I'm alive, I don't know. I probably shouldn't be. And I need fucking drinking. And I'm probably destroyed whatever gains I ever had. And I probably put on some. I don't really eat a lot whenever I drink. So I'm wondering how that found, the woman of my dreams, my waifu, last night while getting stone drunk. And we're getting married tomorrow. And we're going to be getting married tomorrow. So, yeah. No more MGTOW. There you go. When I was on the train coming out of Boston and going down to Providence, there were two so. Oh, F. Okay. Tim Taylor says, I can't believe I actually caught this one. But don't want the virus. Yeah. I'm sort of attempting a little bit, but the more that if and it's honestly to a point where I might just start working at a grocery store because they still need people there. You know what I mean? Like, I'll work at Walmart. I don't give a shit. I mean, I do, but Clive Winston says facial hair intensifies with the seal on. Well, it doesn't matter because, like I said, I'm probably immune. Haven Amira says, "Sup, home slice." Oh my fucking word! There's no goddamn way. There's no way the stream is this unstable. Like, it wasn't. I don't know. Matthew White says, "Recommend me a please, Tolstoy. I'm reading Bukowski at the moment. I was told once that I could out Bukowski, and there was some kind of documentary where he was being driven around Los Angeles, and you know what I mean? It's like people are like, "Does this bring back any memories for you?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's the place where I fucked a hooker." Like, Bukowski was just one rough motherfucker. Like, anyway, I don't know what book. Okay, The Silk Roads by Peter Frankopan is on the floor behind me. Oof, god damn, I'm dizzy. Anyway, Atomic Puppet says, visit CWC Wiki for all your Chris Chan needs. Oh, yeah. Freaking Quick, or whatever it was called. Quickville. Kane the Warlock says, oh, yeah, Chris Chan became trans. Yeah. Yeah. Tim Taylor says, oh, no, she's always laughing. It's YouTube. They suck. Oh, fuck. It's that bad, huh? Haven says, we love you, but this lad's a nightmare. Christ, that good, huh? Well, fuck it. I think I can pretty much, I can probably create some sort of horrible infinite feedback loop. No. No internet. No internet? That would be ridiculous. Oh, my fucking word. No. No. Christ. Oh, okay. For Friday nights, maybe? And people were actually out. Who knows? Alexis says, what do you think 2010 Tolstoy would think of the 2020 Tolstoy? I don't know. I know that 2020 Tolstoy could kill 2010 Tolstoy even without the age advantage. Like, younger man usually fights, harder. Yeah. Completely different person. But ironically, I was like this at 16. Like, essentially, Tolstoy was, despite giving fucks, like 2010 Tolstoy was actually giving way too many fucks. Like, this is what actually giving no fucks looks like. It's actually kind of a conundrum, not a conundrum, what's the word? It's a paradox. It's like what he says in Rick and Morty, where he's like, come on, Jerry, just try to relax. Have you ever tried to relax? It's a paradox. Like, yeah, you can't try to not give a fuck. It's just when you know there's nothing you can do about the situation. You know what I mean? The Warlock says, since you couldn't get into watching it, have you considered going on a deep dive in the Twin Peaks wiki to see what's up with the weird shit? Because that weird shit in it seems up your alley. Superhero films I've ever seen. And I really enjoyed it. It kept me on the edge of my seat. And then I was like, wait a minute, because I didn't know who Prowler was. Like, the movie invokes some like late era Spider-Man shit. Like, I was really only into like the 90s Spider-Man shit. So like the Venom story was about as far as I got in that. Clive Winston says, when are we doing the next Discord shitpost session? I guess any day now. I guess we could do it because we say so much incriminating shit on that. I swear to God. And all those memes, like, I thought about it and like, I don't think any of those memes could be shown. Tim Taylor says, you seen season 1 of True Detective? Nope. I don't even know what that show is. And that was the end of the chat. That was as far as she got. Oh, fuck. I wish I had some chips to eat. Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Coffee's out there. I'll have to get that. Tim Taylor says that I should check out True Detective. I'm not big on crime stories. I never really liked, like, crime, unless it was mixed with, like, cyberpunk, so basically Deus Ex. Matthew White says your old videos are looking back at the early years of YouTube. I get why you deleted them though. I mean, I didn't delete them because I wanted to get rid of them. I deleted them because I was afraid of, bad things happening via the government. So we had this discussion. I don't know how so many people didn't. Oh, well, I know, because YouTube. Spending your quarantine, Big T. Well, so far getting drunk, and it was a poor decision. Now I'm trying to sober up, and by tomorrow I'm going to try to see if I can run some laps and fix my situation financially, hopefully. Swaggy Jeans says, yo, it's TKE. Then someone named Alfalfa. I think that's too many A's. It's not how alfalfa is spelled, but okay. Do you have an opinion on how Trump has handled the corona situation up until now? No, because I don't really have an opinion on the corona situation. It's like, I can't tell if it's a nothing burger or not, and I'm mostly getting my information from a Mongolian basket weaving forum. Jonas Acosta says, I got work tomorrow. Sorry to hear that, man. Or maybe not. Be happy you have a job. Just hoping now you get sick. Tim Taylor says, it's a little bit of a Southern Gothic vibe, if you can dig it. Yeah, kind of. And then Kate the Warlock posts the Discord, the link to the Discord. I think I can actually go into, when that finishes loading, I'm going to gently dip my head in to see Janus. Wait a second, this is a YouTube link. No, wait. What the planes? Yeah. Okay, cool. So we actually have, oh, fuck me. My connection's not unstable. Alfalfa says, I'm Spanish and shit is real here. Yeah, so that's one of the things that everyone on the Mongolian basket weaving forum keeps saying is like, how come we're not seeing, videos? Or so if you can confirm, I do have some people that I know who are military personnel in Italy, and I reached out to them, and they said that, yeah, Italy is on lockdown, not allowed to leave base, and also that they had it, and that they coughed till they threw up. The Discord does not want to load. What do you mean? Oh, there's 14 online right now, but it says accept invite. Like, what do you mean accept invite? I guess that's how that looks. I would have to probably, well. Ugh. And I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my thing of coffee. How long has this stream been going on? 20 minutes? It probably cooled down. Ugh. Yeah, I'm wearing pajamas. Christ. Ugh. And of course, we don't have any sugar and cream, so it's going to taste like ass. Hey, look, it's Mr. Oldman. I thought your name had a J in it, Mr. Oldman J. Oh, well. He says, what up, TKE? I'm just coming back hiking. The BioBoog quarantine. They've now referred to it as the Flugaloo. Quarantine isn't going to keep me inside. Yeah, let me know how that's going. Like, what is the situation? No one in North Carolina is acting like anything's going to happen or has happened, which is weird because Raleigh or UNC and Duke are just, badass motherfuckers. Who knows? Oh, Clive asks where to get the sick Buddha statue. Target. It's out of Target now, but I've been watching you since about the 4th grade. Must have been. Shout out from the Philippines. Just wanted to say hi to one of my personal internet heroes. Bro, based Philippines, man. The Philippines are fucking based. Like, I thought about going there. I was like, like, all of their women are beautiful. All of their food is amazing. They're really, for some reason, into hair metal, like hair metal cover bands and shit like that. And because they just went through that fucking dictator, essentially they understand like need to access guns. So I've literally seen footage of and they're like butt fuck for Christmas. That's like a national. I mean, it's a national holiday here, but not really. I mean, I don't know. Fucking, I've seen some footage of a Filipino what's the word? A traffic guard or traffic officer, like in a Santa getup doing a breakdancing moves to tell cars which way to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've literally seen bikers with like, short barrel shotguns like on the back of their bikes. Like, fucking, I've heard that the Philippines are kind of based. Hmm. Yeah, Clevin says the Boogaloo or the Boogaflu. Yeah, that's literally what Brendan Herrera asked. I don't know if that's what you're referencing, but fucking, he lives like an hour away from me. I know actually, I don't know where he lives. I know that he has some kind of AK business in Fayetteville, and I've always wanted to like just check in to see if see if I can meet him and then like get my AK stock signed by him. Like, I think that'd be dope as shit. Sarah's in the chat and she says, yo. Then Tim Taylor says, I was at the casino a week ago. No one gives a shit about Corona. The casino. Where are you at, though? They're about a national shutdown. Is that true? Are we still doing that? Probably not, huh? And the bigger question is, do we need to? Oh. Affivore says, Christmas starts in like September over here. Jesus. Everything you said is true, but this really is a nice country to visit. It's just a backwards ass place to live in. Well, the thing is like, I think that I would be willing to accept some like third world level of, living. I mean, like my apartment is not climate controlled. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already used to that shit. It would just be better if there was less chance the gubby was going to fuck me or not having to deal with feminism, and among other things. Ne'er-do-wells. Mr. Oldman says, we have 6 confirmed cases in Genesee County and people are freaking the fuck out. Yeah, we got 186. So wait, I thought Michigan was like really fucked. I thought you guys had more. Maybe you've just had more deaths. Tim Taylor says, I was in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Fucking Louisiana, man. Louisiana woman, Mississippi man, we get okay, sorry, stop. Clev Winston says, TKE and Brandon Herrera collab would be legendary. Bro, I so wish. I wish I could like leverage that and be like, I could all my fans would, but like what do I have to bring to this situation? There was an old comedian who said something about like us calling aliens to come down here would be like, your dog leaving you a message that says meet me in the backyard. Like I don't think that there's any, there's no fucking reason for Brandon Herrera to give a shit about me. But he is Big Daddy Papa AK, so and if I had enough money, I'd custom AKs. Too bad we're all going to die soon. The economy is going to collapse. Oh, fuck. Just waiting for more comments. Avifors says, I got to ask, do you still have a radiator around? Yeah, it's right there. It's not the same one, but I can't really reach it. It's forced perspective. It's several feet behind me. That's not happening. My room is a mess. My apartment is a mess. My life is a mess. Huh. Things are clean. I'm just like staring at a pile of laundry. Ah. Oh no. It's in Cyrillic. Well, the user who I'm going to call Cyril now, it says, hi from Russia. Hi, Tiporushke Peran in diesen Shvolovish. So I don't know if you can like Romanize your name so that I can say it, but hi from Russia, I guess. Hopefully our countries don't go at it because Russia, for some reason, seems to be backing up China. And I'm just like, yeah, hashtag nuke China. Clive Winston says, do an AK review right now. I've already done my AK review. Like, I already did the video about it. I mean, if you're like asking for me to field strip it and shit, like, I don't know, man. Although it's also all the way out there. Oh, fuck. Kane Warlock would be like, says TKE for Joe Rogan podcast. Dude, that would be, if you guys could make that happen, I would love to meet Big Daddy Joe Rogan. Like, that would be so fucking amazing. That I've had being my last psychedelic experience, we're good. I don't know that I should fuck around and find out. Two Prize says, put on a Russian accent and say you're from Kalashnikov concern. I'm from Kalashnikov concern. Kalashnikov. And then Two Price says he'll fall in love with you. Well, I don't want a man to be in love with me. I'm not gay. Everyone on that chat last night, everyone was just like, are you an incel? Are you gay? I'm like, you know, and he says, well, I'm talking up this cutie. And then, you know, but I see this guy over here. I like his style. And I'm just like, even in the moment, I'm just like, wait, why did he say that? And no, like I've never given that much of a shit about anyone's sexuality, my guy. Oh, fuck. Clive Winston says that he would support me going on the Joe Rogan podcast. Set up a petition. I don't think I can get enough people to make that happen. But again, if you guys set it up, man, that would make my life. Tim Taylor says, I started making my bed and nothing happened. Thanks, Jordan Peterson. Like a thing that he actually says to do. Does anyone do that anymore? Like, look at my shit pile style of a bed. Like, fitted sheet, that's it. Comforter. Like, these are your fucking options, man. Like, I don't understand that, like, that old people shit where they're like, oh, don't forget to set the, you know, you have to set your fork on the other side of the plate. No, you fucking don't. It doesn't matter. Oh my God. The etiquette of eating. Don't put your elbows, man. That fucking sucks. You had stocks? Man, no wonder you could afford such good gun bling. Miluga says, do a PSP 3000 review on stream. I don't have a PSP 3000 on me, I think. I mean, I can't remember. I don't know what happened. Did I sell that PSP? Oh, fuck. I really don't know what happened to it. Oh, well. Malong Johnson says, no liquor today? No. Or ever. Again. Until next time. That's coffee. It's hot coffee. Cyril says, why did you remove... Oh, my God. Why did you remove all your old retro figures reviews? These videos were hilarious. Yeah, because my government is a fuck. And a bunch of shitty, bratty-ass piece of shit who can't take care of their fucking kids squeed the gubby because they want the gubby to take care of them for them. So they want to make sure that you can't market to kids or some shit like that. Like, and I have no fucking idea. Those were not children-friendly reviews. I mean, yeah, half the figures are all from properties that are rated M. So, you know, do you let a kid play BioShock? I sure hope not. Or you can do whatever. I mean, fuck it. I was watching R-rated films and when I was like 8 years old. Because my parents, I guess they didn't give a shit as long as they thought it was artily done. Tim Taylor says the PSP 3000 review was legendary. I think I left that up. I think the PSP 3000 review is still up. Because, it's a video game oh, no, video games. That's right. I did take it down. Malong Johnson says, you were very angsty last time. Do you struggle with alcoholism? No, it's a joke. I've been telling people that I've had horrible experiences and lost like a decade of my life to drinking because I think it was funny. You know, like it wasn't a decade. It was like 4 or 5 years. But yes, yeah, I'm an because I can't take that hangover anymore. Miluga says, I drank a whole bottle of Captain Friday. Captain Morgan, whatever the fuck his name was, Captain Morgan, right? Anyway, Friday night, and I'm still not feeling good. Lol. Yeah, I drank close to a liter of vodka. Like, how I'm alive, I don't know, but we need to quit playing that game. Michael G says best review was the Nomad. Was it really? I feel like that was back before I like had my kooky internet persona. I feel like I was like really like white toast at the beginning. You know what I mean? Like it was just someone giving actually, and I was really awkward back then. I kind of attribute that to the fact that after freshman year of high school, I went into homeschooling, and the girl across the street who coaxed me into that, she didn't coax me into that. She encouraged me interaction with, so I feel like I was like, what's the word? Poorly socialized as a young man. And then once I got out into the real world and got a job and started partying, I learned how to talk to people because I go back and I see how awkward I was on those earliest like reviews and shit like that. And I'm like, wow, it's amazing that I got just following me because they thought I was Chris Chan. Oh my God. Dude, black coffee though. It needs sugar. Is there anything that can like be used to make sugar real quick? No. I was like, do I have like a syrup or something? Clever Toy Assassins. Oh Christ. Why do we bring up the ancient past? Oh fuck. Video Gamer 945 says I started at 2 p.m. Yeah, I can't do that shit no more. The thought of alcohol right now makes me sick, so. Anything as long as it's art. Let's you watch Eyes Wide Shut. No, it was never really that. It was just like a lot of like over the top action films like RoboCop, you know what I'm saying, was highly violent. And I was like in 1994 watching a VHS copy of it or some shit like that. I feel like my parents kind of had like I wouldn't say libertarian, but kind of a like libertarian mindset about, how they raised us like 6 years old. Mostly because of a lot of the anger that I had to deal with when I was a kid. I was a very angry young man. Because I'd go to a school where I would get slapped in my PP for having a PP. That. Thankfully, I learned how to adapt and just fly underneath the radar because they would take kids like my cousin and put them on experimentally high levels of methamphetamine. You know what I mean? Oh, Riddle. Oof. Coughing up all that Gatorade or burping up the Gatorade. And it quickly went back to like, what's the word? Liquor. Michael G says, that's what makes it special. It was raw as fuck. Haha. Subscribe because of it. Well, I think that was the angsty Tolstoy persona that was put on. Before that, like the earliest fucking days where I did, like, remember I had cut my, my head off. The camera was never aimed at my head or whatever because I didn't want to do a face reveal yet. Fucking, yeah, I was really like milquetoast. I was literally just like, hey, we're just going to review the whatever. I was kind of basing it off of certain reviews that I saw of similar stuff that had given me ASMR before I knew what ASMR was. So I really missed this one video that I'll never find again. And it was a dude reviewing the Game Boy Micro. And it's why I got the Game Boy Micro. Orange Elite 2552 says, I'm listening to you while playing Control for PS4. I recommend it if you ever get a new game system. Well, I have a PS4. A fan of mine sent it to me, which is like the nicest thing that that's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. People need their stories, you know what I mean? Like old ladies, who've lost their husbands and shit, watch soap operas and shit, to ignore their existential dread. And I play games like Days Gone, which I wish if I could go back and replay it all over again, I fucking would. Days Gone was amazing. Loved it. Is the only coffee. Yes, I'll gatekeep coffee. Gatekeep coffee. What? Pumpkin? What? Nah, son. I need like a little bit of cream, a little bit of sugar. But this is how I've been drinking it. Right now my stomach's a little bit raw. As I said before, I drank almost a liter of vodka. F. Oh my fucking word. Smitho says, how come you deleted your old videos? It was because the angel of death appeared to me in a dream and said that I would have to do that to avoid a time paradox. So I did. There you go. I should have said me from the future. I'm you from the future. We have the portal ray before the angels of destruction find us. Nah, I'm just David Bowie. I'm fucking with you. Video Gamer 945 says, I'm quitting Kratom as long as I don't have to work. Anybody else with a opioid addiction should use this opportunity to go through some withdrawals. Hey, man. Remember what I said before about how we're getting into this I Am Legends where it turns out I might be immune? And I'm still looking into this. That's what's going to make me immune. Like, look into it. That, and they're saying nicotine is very odd. Obviously, you don't fucking smoke, but nicotine gum can lessen the severity of this COVID thing because it is an ACE2 inhibitor, believe it or not. So it inhibits the enzyme that this thing is mimicking that allows it to get into you in the first place. And for whatever reason, and I did not know this, kratom is a natural chloroquine. So it has anti-malarial properties. Not anti-malarial, sorry, antiviral, I think. So I wouldn't. Also, how much of it were you doing a day? I'm still trying to like gauge everyone else and figure out, Malong Johnson says, notice when you're not drinking and talking about normal stuff, Kazlab the spy is nowhere to be seen. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. What do we all think? Like, he goes on the the Discord and he doesn't have a microphone. And he just, types there, which could just mean that he's a poor. I mean, who knows? I don't want to be too paranoid, but Tim Taylor says, speaking of social awkwardness, I was a homeschooled since day one. Same anger fueled my early adulthood. Well, again, I was only angry because I was going to school. Like, I wasn't angry in homeschooling. Like, going to a place where every single day you're told you're bad for things that you can't control, like your gender, which actually is like going to work. So if you can, work in a field with only certain, people, because otherwise, every single day will be a fight to not kill yourself because you have to live with that level of a hostile work environment. Every day I start seeing the Muslim narrative better and better. I'm just like, maybe they're right. Miluga says, I'm still angry, lol, and I'm 28. Tim Taylor says, have you seen Chicho ASMR channel? Dude's interesting as fuck. There's no way he could be weirder than Ephemeral Riff. Ephemeral Riff is fucking weird. He's really weird. And he's from Pennsylvania, which is like half my family from Pennsylvania. So, like, I feel like we have a connection somehow. Miluga says, Animal Crossing New Horizons is really good on the Switch. Yeah, well, I don't have a Switch. Because I like good video games. Mr. Old Man says, Control is dope. Yeah, I haven't fucking seen it. Ooh, yeah, don't start playing me to me. Let's take a look. What's it about? Hey, look at that. It's only $29.99 at GameStop. Wait, what? It says it's not released yet. It says it has. Now that I got a little bit of caffeine in me, I feel slightly better. My pain is nulled. I'm like, I should drink. Like, no, you fucking shouldn't. Kane the Warlock says, my favorite vids will always be the Eve Hypo because that was my first Tolstoy vid and the Dreamcast review, which led me to look into Soul Reaver. Oh, word. So I was responsible for you seeing Soul Reaver. Tight, man. I have Soul. Sarah's thoughts on hedonism? It's bad, I guess. Oh, fuck, dude. I loved Days Gone. Almost in tears. Nah, man, the scene that really got me was Boozer and him going out on like some little micro side quest and Boozer beating the shit out of him and asking, where's your wife? Like, that was some intense shit. God damn, dude. The ending was a little bit chipper, too cheery. I didn't want a happy ending. I don't really get shooter, I can't not say get low every time I shoot somebody. But the ending guys being a militia, like I kind of thought that was cool, and they had really focused more on like the environmental, aspect of what they were doing. Like, yeah, well, if you burn down all the fucking, forest, then we won't even have deers to eat because that's what happened to the Anasazi. But instead they were just like, but religion bad. And I was like, oh God, here we fucking go. Check the box. Check the box if there's a fucking, take a drink if there's a heavy-handed slap against Christianity. Take a fucking drink if it's set in Maine. Take a drink if the father's an alcoholic. You're playing the Stephen King drinking game? That's been known to kill people. Like, you've been playing the SJW drinking game? No one survives. Oh yeah, and then Orange Elite says Iron Mike was a badass. Yeah, fucking A. And that's actually what gave me hope, was that like, the game is very anti-SJW in like a weird way. It's very tongue-in-cheek about it, but like I noticed several key characters had crosses, including like the little girl had like a cross necklace, and I was like, huh, I wonder if that's them signaling that they're not a bunch of limp-wristed peckerwood motherfuckers making video games about anyway. And stopping a time paradox is literally the plot of Donnie Darko. Huh, I never thought about it that way. Man, I would like to get high and watch that movie. Video Gamer 945 says it's addictive on the level of coffee/nicotine for me. I usually take 5 grams in the morning and 3 grams in the evening. Oh, okay. See, I'm on like maybe 5 grams a day, maybe 3 grams, more than likely. I wouldn't do it in the morning. I only do it at night. Unless I've been drinking, in which case I forget to, and I'm afraid I'm going to go through withdrawals if I keep fucking around. I'm afraid I'm going to wake up, not remember if I took it, attempted to slander it. Like, they talked a bunch of shit about it. It doesn't matter. It broke records. And ironically, in Japan, in the wake of all of this insanity, they see what's going on in the West, and they're just like, no. And when they saw games like, they loved The Last of Us. And I'm interested to see how it sells, the number 2 sells in Japan. We'll see. We'll see how that turns out, because I have a feeling that like the Japanese get a whiff of that SJW shit and they're going to dishonorable, and then they won't fucking buy it because they loved the shit out of Days Gone. I'm like, yeah, because it's a classically masculine character doing. And the thing is I actually kind of like the character of Deacon St. John better than Joel, in the way that I realized that very jovial. Like he had a very stiff upper lip kind of thing, and it was probably because he had Boozer. Really fucking great game. I would love to go back and replay it, but yeah. Oh no, Kane the Warlock says Kazlap is poor. Is poor. CIA only gives him minimum wage. And a better dental plan than the FBI. So better put your hands up and get in the van, or else you'll get blown away. I love Weird Al. Orange Elite 2552 says, Mr. Oldman, have you beaten Control yet? I'm at the part where you meet Dylan for the first time. How can you all have some game that says it's not going to get released for 3 days? Are you the schizos or am I the schizos? Which one of us needs to take our meds? Tim Taylor says, Ephemeral Riff is sick as fuck, but Chaiko's shit more based in reality. Ephemeral Riff, I used to watch him back when he would do Pizza with the Rift vids. Pizza with the Rift vids? I don't remember that one. I know one where he dressed up as a plague doctor and he tapped watermelons. Really fucking weird. Miluga says it's. Well, my brother's looking on the news and he says that there's proof that the coronavirus is a bioweapon. Yeah, sounds about right. Get ready for all the Chinese shills to shill harder. Why? What's the proof? We should definitely nuke China. Kazlab says, oh, for good testosterone. But Sarah mentions olive oil. Yeah, olive oil is pretty based, but coconut oil is better. Games, they're on Soul Reaver now. Ooh. Yeah, I'll have to take a look into that. Cyril says, have you played RE3 demo? Nah, not really. I loved RE2, but like I don't have that money for a game because like that used to be a really great strat. And then for some reason the game industry started going like, nah, man, if we don't make it shiny, brand new every fucking time, we can't charge the max. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like right now, I want another Deus Ex game. They could literally just use that exact same engine that they have. But I swear to God, they're going to wait for a PlayStation 10 and then push it. You know what I mean? It's like, Half-Life 2, and then they made Episode 1 and Episode 2. And then, like, for whatever reason, now we're doing this thing where it's like, yeah, you might get one game every generation within every IP. And I'm like, I don't want that. You know? Like, they could have used they could have literally just made another Last of Us and upgraded it to the PlayStation 10. Like, but for whatever reason, they wanted us to wait 10 years. So here we are. It's actually been almost 10 years. The first game came out in 2012. Like, what is this shit? Hippie aunt that did that. And she proclaimed that it could clean out the cholesterol from your system. Never mind. Iluga says, I like good motor oil myself. Good for you, buddy. Then Gandalf says, the Japanese are a wonderful people. Indeed, they are. Sarah says, tried microdosing with my pops this morning. 0.5 gram did fuck all for me. He's slowly been scaling up, and I'm having an annoying tolerance. Going to try a full gram this weekend. Good for you. That being said, I literally thought you meant acid, not mushrooms. And I was like, 0.5 gram. I was like, you'd be dead. I mean, there is no lethal dosage of it, but like, you would become God or some shit like that. Like, actually, I think, yeah, the story of how, what was his name? Hopper? Whatever. The guy who discovered LSD working for Purdue or Merck. I can't remember. He literally tested it on himself, and he thought that a good dosage to start off with, because a dosage that's pretty... This is ground control to Major Tom. Your helmet on. Video Gamer 945 says, do you still play mandolin? Bro, I never played the mandolin. I cannot play music. I am not musically talented. I only ever made that thing sound like a dying cat. Orange Elite 25 controls an action supernatural horror third-person shooter, handles like Uncharted or Tomb Raider, but you also gain powers. Really unique title, lots of fun. Okay, but I'm poor, so you know there's no pores in the core. Like, what am I supposed to do about it? You're all telling me like how great this thing is that I can't get. You know. Actually, I was looking for like some different stuff to play because I'm almost near the end of Prey, and I was looking on Steam, and I think found like Chaos Theory for $3, but I don't know if I really feel like a stealth mission right now. I feel like something dark and brooding, very Silent Hillish, which Prey has that kind of. Gandalf says, I like your chair. Everything flipped. What is your perfect chair if you had a $1,000 chair voucher? This chair. What are you fucking, what are you, Aldous Huxley? Like, the chip says nuke China. Yes, nuke China indeed. Like, they're just going to keep on threatening. If that's an act of war, that's literally a violation of, like, all the conventions. Nuke them. Fuck it. Like, I want Trump to press the button, and I want his hair to part, and the missile to fire out of his head while he goes, Yoj! And then, like, it's, you know, it's vectored in for China. Yeah. Tim Taylor says, what music you been listening to? Okay. Let's do this. Because I don't give a shit who judges me. I'm just going to scroll through YouTube at the gym. So far, I'm just looking at mostly Fred's voice videos. Rude English Gentleman. Indeed. Listening to Last Resort by Papa Roach. Here's F. Let's turn that down before I get a copyright claim. So this is actually this is not a bad mix. You know how YouTube will start, like, you know, the algorithm detects what you want to hear and slaps it all together for you in one list. So first on the list was Papa Roach, then Linkin Park with Jay-Z doing Numb Encore, Skillet with Not Gonna Die Tonight, Avicii's Levels, Tones and I, Dance Monkey, Dorothy, Raise Hell, the theme song to The Greatest American Hero, which As It Ain't Me, Styx, Blue Collar Man, Godsmack, When Legends Arise, Skillet, Awake and Alive, the theme song to Firefly, Fleetwood Mac, Go Your Own Way, Kryptonite by Three Doors Down, Old Town Road, I don't give a fuck, Hoobastank, The Reason, Jars of Clay, Flood, Iris by Goo Goo Dolls, The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, The Impression That I Get, The Score, Born for This, and Carry On Wayward Son by Kansas are just examples of some of the stuff that I listen to while lifting. Here's Rocky, No Way Out. Christ. Let's check the death toll, shall we? It jumped like several thousand, so I've just like stopped noticing and stopped looking, but ooh, what did you do, you nasty piece of shit? Huh. It stopped. So it looks like it stopped. It halted at 14,600. Like it hasn't gone up by like a load, bitch. Fucking do it. No fucking deaths yet. Fuck yeah. Fucking heading on down to the land of the pines. I don't want to die of coronavirus. I don't know. Being poor. I'm trying. I was trying so hard. I got my raise and everything, and then this shit happened. God damn. I hate my life. Orange Elite says, is Prey worth picking up? Prey is one of the best games I've ever played. So yes. Especially if you liked Bioshock. Gandalf says, what do you think about the theory about gold coming out of as an open of your toes? Yes, products. I assume that you're one of those people that thinks that they can cure this with essential oils. There was a metal band called Apocalyptica that I think they didn't have a set vocalist. They invited other, vocalists from other bands like Breaking Benjamin to work with them. So, I don't do Cookie Monster vocals, man. And honestly, most metal bands are AIDS because most metal bands just focus on being brutal as fuck. And it's like a lifestyle that I don't understand. It does not, it doesn't really appeal to me. Like I'm not a gangsta, so I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like all these songs about how you're going to run up on me, and how you're dark. And like, yeah, we fucking get it. Christ. Anyway. Sarah says, Fred's voice, the Thor of ASMR. Indeed. Throker. I love his Joker ASMR. The weirdest goddamn accent. Him attempting to do an American accent is beyond hysterical. I'll listen to a little Slim Shady. Sarah asks if I like Tool. No, I don't need a 90-minute long song. I don't know. I've only heard like that most recent one that they came out with, and I was not impressed. It's not my deal. And I really like progressive rock, but it's a bit like they're a bit like Dream Theater, aren't they? Tim Taylor says you should throw some Pantera in there. You will lift more than you ever have imagined. The closest that I get to like classic 80s metal is Guns N' Roses, and maybe every so often a little bit of F. Who are the guys who did the guy with the one? I can't remember. See, now Pantera's the only thing that's in my head. Def Leppard. Sometimes. Oh, and well, Five Finger Death Punch, but I guess that's considered new metal. Fuck if I know. I'm not a snob, so I don't give a shit. Kovoras says Tolstoy hasn't left the house in 3 days. Yeah, I know, and it's murdering me. Kazlab208 says, do you got some Space Jam in that mix? Come on and slam if you wanna jam. No, but I did Space Jam for like 30 seconds because it was recommended on Netflix right after Into the Spideyverse. And I realized that it was an acid nightmare and I was sober. So I was like, I'm not doing this. Like it flipped. I just like, it's weird. I just don't, there's something wrong with Space Jam, man. I can't do that. Kazlab says, ever get into wrestling? Like, do you mean like actual like competitive wrestling or professional wrestling? Because the answer is no to both. But I always wanted to take up some form of martial art, and if I did, I would do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I just don't have the time or money right now to invest in that. Also, I worry because I injure myself a lot at the gym. Because whatever. Ironically, my joints all feel amazing right now, though. I wonder if it's because they got warmer. Yeah. Kazlab says, did you store up any water for the boog? No, they're not going to turn off the water. And if they do, I have 2 water filtration kits. Source of fresh water near me. Like, well, not fresh, but we'll see what we can do. Kazlab says, you going to plan a... then Kazlab continued to ask questions. How's the Breaking Bad marathon going? I finished it already. Breaking Bad, like, I finished that a long-ass time ago. Not only do you have the powers, but like the coolest mechanic in that is like one, the glue gun. It's literally like BioShock, Deus Ex, and Half-Life all kind of had a baby. It's one of my favorite games. But anyway, Sarah says, any love for John Mayer? I don't know who that is. John Mayer. There's a lot of lag. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I recognize the fact that, I don't know, YouTube is either fucking me or my internet is fucking me. Who knows? What did you do? I don't know. Kavora says Tolstoy lit up talking about ASMR. I fucking love ASMR. That's how I was. What do you think happened when I woke up this morning at 6 a.m. feeling like I was going to throw up? Like, I quickly turned on some Fred's voice. Maybe a little massage ASMR. Sometimes I do some JoJo's ASMR. Ephemeral. Ephemeral's name is Paul? That's great. I didn't know that. And yes, Dimitri is the fucking man. I remember when I first saw Dimitri, the whole thing kind of creeped me out. Like, I used to get off of work and have an hour before going into another job, and I would lay down and listen to that exact vid where he was basically like, he basically made the vid for people who aren't appreciated at their job. And it's just him saying, like, you're doing a good job. Thank you. I can't do an Australian accent. Like, guess you can. Can you do it? Why was that British? I'm just saying. I can't. Nah, now that I think about it, I kind of can't do it. I don't want to. I used to be like really good at accents, but for some reason, somewhere along the way, I forgot how to do them. Tim Taylor says, mouth for war. Pantera says, do you jam to Real American Hero? It's Hulk Hogan's wrestling theme. No, I don't. Malone Johnson says, do you still enjoy $15 cigars? Nope, I quit smoking years ago. Once I started smoking cigarettes, smoking with cigarettes, I realized that I could not go back to cigars. Like, there's the nicotine buzz that you get is way better from inhaling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I even started doing cigars. I was just like, yep, this is basically the closest I can get, because I thought that I could like use cigars to wean off of cigarettes. That was actually one of the most addictive things that I've ever done, believe it or not. Like, well, because there was no negative side effect to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, besides the obvious over long-term health problems it would cause, it's like with drinking, you get sick. You know what I mean? You can get a kratom hangover, and they are fucking awful. Christ. K. Aaron says, do you still have your PSP? Yeah, somewhere. I don't know where, though. Kazlab then says, so Sonic comes out on video on the 31st. Gonna give it a rewatch? No, it was fucking god-awful. I just went to support it so that I could teach Hollywood a thing or two. And plus, I was enjoying the fact that all these people were losing their mind that Birds of Prey got its shit smacked by Sonic. You know what I'm saying? Sarah says, we lost some great ASM artists in the beginning when it was fairly sexualized. I wish I would have downloaded some videos before I knew they were deleted. Yeah, I never understood the whole sexual nature of it. Like, there's definitely, in fact, what's weird for me is that I don't have any female ASM artists that I listen to. I kind of can't. Like, I don't know. They don't really do it. I think there was like one video of a lady who had nails and she was dragging them across like a plastic pencil case, and that was okay. But for the most part, like I said, like when I first got into it, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just listening to this literal autistic kid who had a really terrible, low quality, equipment, and was doing cheeky little videos of him talking about how much he likes his PlayStation 3, and he was giving me a buzz. And then when I described to somebody what that was, I was like, yeah, this kid really like lulls me to sleep. My friend was like, huh. Kane the Warlock says, forgot to mention this earlier, but thanks for accepting the Facebook request. Huh. Yeah. I remember, I know who you are, but I don't know who you are on Facebook. So, Caslab says, last time you hookah was about 5 years ago in a bar in Raleigh, which was fancy as fuck, which is so weird because Raleigh has such urban sprawl that it looked like we were at a truck stop, but a truck stop with a Denny's next to it and a gas station next to it, right outside the fairgrounds. But there's just this fucking hookah bar there. And it was like the night, I think it was run by Persians, and it was almost gaudy how nice it was. Like, it was just like literal gold statues and like little, and wanted to show me one that she knew about in Towson. And it's like a little bit beneath Baltimore. Or actually, it might be to the west of Baltimore. Anyway, and we see it from street level, and it was called like Ice or something like that. And like, it just looked like a rundown rape shack that had a big store window that was all frosted up. And it just like looked like something out of a fucking, 80s gory horror film, like Freddy, whatever, Freddy Knife Hands is going to come out from the, and she was like, you want to go in? I was like, fuck no. Like, fuck no. Mark says, you think Fight Club's overrated? Movie, not the book? No. My favorite director on earth directed that. David Fincher. And honestly, it's one of the most important and influential works of this generation. I like how there's this shitty psyop to realize you've lost all power. Your social narrative is gone. That was the one thing you had, like holding a gun that didn't have it, that isn't loaded, and you've pulled the trigger, and I heard that, the click. I'm like, oh, you don't have any bullets. And now it's done. Like, this is it. Like, we realized, like, living in Nazi Germany, I know this is trite, but, just as an example, living in Nazi Germany, you would have been a sociopath if you didn't agree with the mass, deportation to death camps of Jews. Like, I'm sure at one point in America, being an abolitionist made you a weird dude. Like, made you some kind of, it's more or less like those kind of like, those characters in movies that are the epitome of like, anti-society, anarchisty kind of stuff being seen as cringe. This is suggesting that there's like only one way to view the universe. Like, that there are, people competing, that like cultures don't compete and that animals don't compete. And ultimately it comes down to like, well, why am I forced to agree with you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that the gazelle doesn't want to die, but people who are benefiting from society, and then there are people who aren't benefiting from society, despite the fact that you. In fact, that's what I always thought was so telling, was that the people who maintain that people like me are benefiting from society are the people who don't want society to fall, and the people who are supposedly benefiting from society and social structures, power structure, are wanting it to fall. You know what I mean? It's like when Little Miss Thing from work texted me and she said, well, and like, I'm just like, so what is your logic here? You think that it. Jesus. Jonas Acosta says, anyone seen that weird chick doing the ASMR of her eating deodorant and of her eating glass? I'm going to pretend that that's not real. Phalanx says, Tolstoy, you're my ASMR artist. Not the ASMR videos you've made, just the normal videos you produce. What, really? Like, not just like, because honestly, I can't do ASMR. Gotta keep it quiet. Otherwise, I'm just not down. Sarah says, those low-quality vids were the best. First experience was an Xbox Elite unboxing where the kid set that bitch down gently. I know, right? Fucking A, you know what I mean? The other thing that gave me a buzz, and it was so weird, but the kid had, like, severe autism, and it caused him to have trouble arranging sentences. Like, his speech center was really scrambled. So he had, like, this weird Cockney accent, and he would just say, brain buzz, like,
I can't even think of a good example, but I know that he basically ripped off everything Dr. Ashens ever did. He even made a response video to Dr. Ashens talking about how to play the barcode
in the dark side of ASMR videos. As much as I love ASMR, his videos are hilarious. No, I have not. Kane the Warlock says, if you go on my page, you'll see Kane the Warlock under my actual name. Aren't doing something wise. You know what I mean? Are not counting deaths anymore just to keep us calm or some shit like that. I don't know. I'm just taking it day by day, man. F. Oh, interesting. Kovorus says, there was a TED Talk the other day about ASMR. Now that I gotta hear. I've heard some interesting theories. Not really even a, this is not even really like my theory. This is just someone else's theory that it is a leftover instinct from our ancient ape ancestors to essentially hold still while someone is grooming you. So that's why a lot of people get around the, because it feels like someone is tending to you. And I feel like that that lends credence to like the whole theory of, what's the word? Psychosomatic, placebo effect. Because in the ancient world, if you sprained your leg or some shit like that, they got a guy to come over who had a rain stick and he would shake the rain stick for you. And I'm wondering if that buzzing sensation made people think good magic's working, and then they were more likely to be able to get up and go hunting the next day. Just a thought. Fetus the Great says, hey Tolstoy, have you ever thought about doing a video series going over your interpretation philosophy in your favorite media? I did. I was going to make a review of one anime that was like my new favorite all-time anime, which if you guys haven't seen A Gene Demi-Human, go fucking watch it now. And by the way, that's actually that's a looping right into what we were talking about how people was a psyop campaign against, liking characters like the Joker or liking characters like Tyler Durden from Fight Club. Well, not to tell anything, but A Gene Demi-Human essentially takes place in a world where a few minority of human beings have some sort of weird superhuman power to not be able to die. And as such, the governments of Earth minority, like 0.0100001% of the population, like in the show, you only ever meet like maybe upwards of 100 of them in Japan. Essentially, no one gives a fuck about them. You know what I mean? And so this one character who they don't until they kind of do near the end. Actually, no, they do the entire time. So hysterical that they try to make the main villain be a villain. They're trying to say, "Oh, isn't he so bad for starting a guerrilla war campaign against the Japanese government?" And I'm just like, it's not that crazy. It's actually, you know what? There was a troops, and it's bad when people die in war. He says it's bad when people die in war. It's devastating to their families. And he's like, but maybe it's not that weird. Maybe if you're in someone's country and you're shooting at them, they're going to probably shoot back at you. You know what I mean? I feel like telling that to normies, like every time they see things like, whatever, every time they see stuff like, crazy school shootings or whatever, and they're like, but why? And I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe someone no reason not to do it. Maybe if you incentivize people to act sociopathic, they will. Maybe it's not that weird. Maybe if you, it's when Baltimore had its riots, people came into, to my workplace and they were like, I just don't understand. Why are they rioting? And my based manager was like, well, what is their motivation not to? And they were just like, what? They just couldn't get it through their head that society, it's like the opposite of all normies believe in social contract. I believe in social, what's the word? Social, people a reason to act moral. They won't. That's why we have police. You know what I mean? The only reason I hear these places that have money, like lots of them. And if you go in there and you demand it, you know what I mean? There was that meme about, did you know that McDonald's still serves breakfast after 10 a.m. if you bring a gun? Like, the only reason that you can't do that is because Popo will show up. So, yeah. A Gene Demi-Human images and, whatever, and do my personal review of that. And then I just never did because my life is a constant torrent of swirling misery and depression. Shit poster who, he was a fucking troll, but I'm a dumbass. And he was talking about how one of the shows that I never got into, but you would assume that I would, it's right up my alley, is The Adventures. He did like a quick review of like the insane nature. The reviewer basically like he trolled by stating that The Lighthouse was a action sequence to a made for TV movie in that IP. And I'm sitting there watching it going, no way. No way. Cartoon Network didn't. No way. And then like I don't know why it took me so long to realize it. And then I had the ending spoiled for me and I was like, fuck you too. Well, I don't know. Twitch? But it could also just be my shitty internet. I do apologize. But Tolstoy is low quality. Come on now. You knew this. Caslab says, got any bread over there? We are completely out of stock here in California. So this is going to sound retarded, but don't stock up on bread. You know what keeps longer and is just as good? Tortillas. And you can use that for a wider variety of applications. Tortilla is the master bread race. So Malong Johnson says, are you talking about Tweeter Man? He copied Ashens a lot. Oh, I do remember Tweeter Man. He was one of my, I talked to him back in the day. No, the kid's name was Virgin1D4. That was his little handle. Marcus Parsons was his real name, and yeah, he just made like cool videos in his like crazy ass accent, and they gave me such a buzz. He was one of the reasons I kept making videos, because even though he was super low quality, he made me super happy. And I kept like goading him, like, keep doing it, keep making more videos, guy. And so I kind of know what it's like when your favorite creator stops doing what they do. Which is why I try to keep one foot on the pedal, and I try to keep bringing you guys content, even though it's cringy and shitty and AIDS. One of the other reasons I came back was because nature is amazing, and I wanted to bring that to you guys. Unfortunately, as someone pointed out to me, I'll never have a camera high def enough to show you how pretty these parks look to my eyes. Video Gamer 945 said, how do you manage to monologue? Getting over the fear of live streaming is difficult for me. Any advice? I don't know. Just remember that none of this matters and nobody can judge you. Like, oh God, now I sound like I should get some no regrets tattooed. Only God can judge me, bro. But yeah, basically that's why I like yesterday when everyone was trying to notice that by not giving a shit, women's opinion of me rose. Not high enough for me to not have to deal with bullshit at work. God damn, every single fucking day with those. Anyway. Fucking loved Vector Man. The beta version, seeing the downsides of my isolation. Wow, that got really dark really quick. Sarah says, watch Ajin, couldn't stand Kai, but Saito, badass. He was the savior. And the whole thing keeps on trying to make it seem like, oh, he's really bad. And I'm like, why? That's how fucking they let it go. And it's violent and hurts people. And they're like, but what? Like, why are you so stupid? I mean, every time I see these like workplace violence, situations where like, oh, a man in Pennsylvania shot up his people, like, oh, what would he do? Pushed him to the point where he no longer cared about his own life and was worth it, like was feeling that it was worth killing himself essentially to also hurt you. And they're just, huh? And they just don't fucking understand. And that's why I felt like Ajin Demihuman was an ironic troll, in the same way that a lot of people misunderstand the whole point of what was the name of that movie? Mars Attacks. It's all about how long are we going to sit around while China threatens the entire world population? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Scrolling. Keep that something scrolling. Kane the Warlock says, I like listening to the relaxing ends unboxings, mainly because I like more of those noises, but with voice. Skipping that one. Arcane Thought says, stay broadcasting, weeb. All right, well, that's what I'm doing. I'm not a weeb, he says, with his katana collection behind him. Kane the Warlock says, what was the series you couldn't get into? It cut out. Oh, the series that I couldn't get into was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I tried. I couldn't do it, man. Marcus74 says, no, I'm judging you. Always judging. Okay, but I don't give a fuck. Something can't ever try curry? Yes. A good friend of mine used to work at an Indian restaurant. Kazlab said, oh, I'm the same person. Fetus the Great says, I just finished playing through BioShock again a few days ago, and I'm thinking that like that kind of shit is based or not. It's like, I don't know, we're seeing right now how You know, an ultimate anarchist state might not fare very well against a super biovirus. That being said, without the Chinese, we probably wouldn't have, without a fascist government, we probably wouldn't have had that weapon to begin with. Frost. No. What kind of a flavor is Frost? Christ. Kazlab says, would you rank Ajin higher than Cowboy Bebop and Full Metal Alchemist 2000? Kovoras says, when did you last purchase plastic crap? I wasn't. It was getting purchased for me. Like, I think, yeah. This be too friendly towards children now because I was misled about what it was. I thought it was going to be kind of like it was going to meme the overly man trolling because like it starts off pretty fucking normal. You know what I mean? Like everyone's dressed normally. The technology that they have at the time is relatively normal. And then just slowly but surely it just got gayer and gayer. And like at the point where it's like, you know, the dude has like a suit that's made out of like, you know, that would give Lady Gaga a run for her fucking money. I was just like, okay, fucking done. I can't do it no more. Like it's stupider than DBZ. I was going to watch a fight 'em beat 'em up anime, then I'd watch DBZ, and I would probably just watch Naruto first because Naruto is that, but not stupid. It's still kind of stupid, but not stupid. Tim Taylor says, thoughts on Norm MacDonald? I don't know who that is. K. Aaron says, so you think this virus is man-made? Yes, the Chinese produced it and then released it to silence Hong Kong, and we should silence them permanently. Fallout then if they're communist Chinese. Kazlab208 says, do you still have those Halo laser tag guns? Those are worth a lot of money now. Nope, I sold them for rent money years ago. Kovoras says COVID-19 was created by the Umbrella Corporation. I have seen that meme, yeah, because the lab literally has the symbol of the umbrella. King the Warlock says, although I like JoJo, I would never see you as one to even try to get into it for the art style alone. Yeah, man. Like I think, where him and Apollo were training together and they're like running along the beach to like one of the lakes or some shit like that. And like they're all glistening and manly in the sunlight. And then they play in the water. Don't fucking call Rocky gay. It's not fucking gay. It's manly. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's Rocky. You know what I mean? Like he really didn't like that, man, which is hysterical. So I made fun of it more. Oh my God, I'm very weak. Oh, that stretch is a fucking good stretch, though. My desk is messy as fuck. F. Okay. So, 2 games that I played the most. Actually, these are the only 2 card games that I've ever collected. Would be for much longer. I never actually really ironically I played Magic the Gathering for longer and earlier than I played Poe. I don't remember why. Here's some weird cheesecloth. And by the way, I believe, yeah. So this bag contains my fucking wisdom teeth. I can't even make that up. Maybe you think it's fucking creepy, but like, that's fucking crazy, man. So these are my fucking wisdom teeth. They let me go home with them. You know, while I was all doped the fuck up. Christ, man. That really doesn't make any sense because that's not really what I'm like IRL. In fact, yeah, here's a bunch of card covers, but this is some random. But you can kind of see, and I've been collecting these since fucking middle school. Like, I have a Wrath of God. I have a couple Wrath of Gods in here. Yeah, fucking razor winged warrior, whatever the fuck. But I play better and I don't know if I have it in this box or not. Yeah, this is just a bunch of randos. I opened up some booster packs, and I started collecting green, and I started focusing on a monster deck. And I was never really good at this. I don't think super tactically. Like, I'm not really good at... And that kind of bummed me out for a while, but this kind of goes back into what I was saying the other night about difficulty being interesting to me in games. I kind of snapped, and I was like, then I challenge you to a game of chess. And I used to really like chess, and I would play against a computer. And I actually won one time. I won a game of chess against a fucking computer because to sell more cards, they had to make more and more convoluted fucking rules. Same thing with Pokemon, you know. But I still think that they're cool, and I was mostly just collecting them for like the picture. Huh? Some weird. That's just a trainer card. I don't know what that is. Because I actually had. Fuck me. Why are they all coming out like that? Okay. Make sure that doesn't come flying out. Let me see here. So, yeah, I have a bunch of normals. Let me see if I can find like the Crown Jewel. Like, I have a couple of rare cards. Fuck yeah. Fairy types, Giggity. I was always looking to try to get a GX card. You know why? Because I was watching, like, oh my god, the full art GX Alolan Vulpix. Not Alolan Vulpix, Alolan Ninetales. Really wanted that, but I realized it really wasn't worth, like, spending every $5 fucking dollars, you know. It's a bad addiction. Ooh, is that a... Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, I forgot I had that. For the most part, I really couldn't... Graveler. Cool. I really couldn't get most of the Pokemon that I like IRL. Oh, nice. I have a Rhyhorn and a Rhydon. Dark Jolteon. Yeah, here we go. It was a fire starter from Alola, but... Yeah, I think it's the only GX I ever got, which kind of pisses me off. Like, I always wanted a Butterfree or a Cloyster, because I rocked the hell out of a Cloyster back in the day. I'm trying to see. We'll be done here soon. I'm just trying to see. Ah, that's right. I got a black. Yeah, actually, I have the full evolution set of that. Oh, and that's just a bunch of like trainer cards. Oh, yeah, here we go. A full art of holographic full art of Professor Kukukri, or whatever the fuck that guy's name is. Like, not really what I wanted, you know what I mean? Yep, then just a bunch of energies. But I didn't really ever play the game a lot. Like I said, I got frustrated quick because the dude I was playing up against is the human version of Sekiro. He just, like, he basically breaks every game that he gets in contact with, and he essentially found out that you can basically just use evolutions to constantly swap out, you know, EVs in during a match. Got a while before I can crate him up and try to go to sleep. Kazlab says, "Is there going to be a Discord roundtable one day?" I hope so. Malong Johnson for being kooky and interesting. I like to strike a balance between like I like to strike a balance between like, you know, kooky arty games, but in the way that it's played, but is like really fucking amazing is Okami. Okami was great. Just waiting for the connection to unfuck itself. Okami was great. Ape Escape was actually also kind of a weird, like, oh, that's the whole point of the game. I always thought it would be a cool idea to make a video game that was based around like environmentalism. I mean, I guess, well, I guess you could always say Oddworld was a lot like that, and that's true. But I kind of thought about giving it like an East Indo-Chinese, you know, aesthetic and weird, dark, you know, miasma that's controlling the land. It's a little bit like Okami, but Tim Taylor says, not going to read that. Kazlab says, oh shit, are those the same wisdom teeth you got removed back in 2008? They are, right? Like, crap, 2008 is when I had my wisdom teeth taken out. That's nuts. If I could go back, I would. And I would lift weights back then. But, you know, I wouldn't be the same person. Like, I think about it, and sometimes I'm like, I regret not having done military service. And then I think about it, and I'm just like, you don't know that you wouldn't have ended up PTSD crippled, my guy. Like, you know, you're probably like, that's actually one thing that God told me on that acid trip. He did say that all things do work together for good. So, interesting. Mark74 says, always wanted to get into Magic the Gathering, but never got around to it. Dude, yeah, and the thing is, like, back in the day, the core rules, back in, like, 2002, it was a good game. Now it's just got a whole bunch of fucking weird shit and a bunch of SJW shit in there, too. So, later parts when the creator fully developed his own style and not just do Fists of the North Star. That Fetus the Great says, funny story. Went to the hospital for appendicitis. They said it was a cut and dry case. Had the surgery. When they pulled it out, they said it actually looked fine. I didn't get to keep my appendix. You shouldn't get to keep your appendix, man. Orky Bork says, imagine chess. Imagine there is chess. Kazlab208 says, do you have any Pokemon games with you to play during the boog? Yeah, I've got almost all of them. Like, yeah, actually. There is no generation I haven't played. Well, no, that's not true. This most current one where they go to Scotland, which really could have been great if you guys didn't suck ass. If you guys didn't think that your audience was perpetually 10 years old. Like, what is it with Nintendo just like having some weird, like, they're as creepy as people who have like those age play fetish, like, with you. Like, remember how the N64 was baller? Remember how forget it. Remember how the technically the most powerful graphical capabilities were the GameCube. The GameCube ATI graphics card that would out. Kazlab says, do you have a Sylveon card? No, because I hate Sylveon. Kazlab says, favorite Bruce Willis movie, 12 Monkeys. Orky Bork says, if he survived getting burnt by you 10 years ago, he'll be fine. Yeah, I was going to say, like, they're technically immortal, so. Like that. But it's different now. It's probably different because I've smoked, so. Kazlab says, what was the most anime you ever watched? It's an interesting concept. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, probably a Naruto. That's the most Japanese thing you can fucking see. Kazlab says, did you see that group of celebrities that tried to sing Imagine and failed miserably? No. My friend did not get Sylveon tattooed on his back. It's on his calf. I told him never go to prison, man. Like, yeah, I mean, no, I never watched Girls and Panzer. Tim Taylor says, I bought a shoebox of MT Magic the Trading Card, Magic the Gathering cards, and I don't even know how to approach putting I think he meant deck, but he wrote Dicey together. Yeah, like I said, like, I always went for, and also attempted to use walls to constantly block attacks. But that was back when it was actually fun. Like, these days, it's literally just whoever sends $5 more to the manufacturer wins. Hyperscan review part 3, lel. Yeah, okay. Kazlab says, what movie are we watching tonight? We're not watching any movie. I'm probably just going to play Prey and drink tea and stay up all night watching YouTube. So I wish I could find some good creepiness on YouTube. Magic the Gathering with my ex, and good lord, can serious players kill a game for you? Yu-Gi-Oh was the worst. Most games ended before I could take a turn. Yeah, word. Like I said, like, they've just collected all the fucking cards. They have that kind of mind for how can I break the game. Have that kind of brain, like. Which is why I got, like, super fucking frustrated. And so I was just like, fine then. I challenge you to chess. And he still won, but it took a much longer time for him to win. And he almost didn't, so. Yeah, Kazlab says, not going to play The Last of Us one last time. I don't have a copy of it. I gave the copy from a PlayStation 4 to a co-worker who was moving back to Pennsylvania, and he bought me a bag of chalk for rock climbing. I stole it. Because people are dicks. Yes, indeedy. Sarah says, I regret never being introduced to D&D. It is impossible to find groups that do the original core rulebook for vampires. Infinitely fucking cooler. D&D is fucking lame. It's for nerds. Vampires is so much cooler. And when you say down here, I thought you were in Arizona, because I was going to say, like, usually when people say down, I mean the south. Like, I consider the north is the north, the south is the south, and everything to the west is west. So if you're in Arizona, you mean over here. Over there, and we won't come back till it's over there. Southpaw82 says, I sent you an item to review years ago and you never reviewed it. Not sure if you even got it. It was a great item as well. What did you say? Yu-Gi-Oh was the shit growing up, Tim Taylor says. I remember it was weird that I would watch it in the afternoon, the show, and for some reason, despite the fact that it was like Maximum Autism, my dad actually like kind of liked it. For some reason, I was like, of all the weird shit that we watched that he just kind of absorbed through osmosis, he enjoyed it for some reason. You know what I mean? Like, why did you like Screaming Card Game Battle? That he was just like, I don't know. It's weird what I can and can't get him into. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, there's like the shit that's up his alley that like he'll come downstairs at like 3 a.m. back when we were, you know, under the same house, and The Wire. He fucking loved Breaking Bad, but ironically, he thought that Walter White was the good guy. Dead fucking serious. He was all like, yeah, but you see, he taught Jesse how to make meth. Therefore, he gave him like, no, Jesse already knew how to make meth. He's like, well, now he can make it better. He gave him a life skill. He prepared him for life. And I'm like, God damn, holy shit, is that boomer? That is boomer as fuck. Kazlab208 says, Last of Us is on sale digitally for $10 on PSN until the 31st if you want to play it again. I don't know, man. Orky Bork says, you still watch AVGN at all? Yeah, anything he puts out, I watch. I really like his old hokey style. The one about Mortal Kombat was hysterical. Kazlab208 says, did you ever play more of that Vampires the Masquerade PC game? No. It sort of turned me off, like the way that like there was no objective finder. Like I couldn't find out where the fuck I was supposed to go or what the fuck I was supposed to do. Sarah says, fan of chess, you could always stream as Cave Story, which is a side-scrolling shmup. Like, I don't understand. It's 8-bit. Like, it's not 8-bit, it's 16-bit. But still, it's like, actually, it might be 8-bit. It's low. It should be easy. You could probably play that thing on a fucking calculator. You know what I mean? And even then, the stream chugged. I don't know. Fetus the Great says, my whole family would come over every week and watch the new episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Great, wholesome memories. That said, I hate most card games. Now, physical pay to win makes my soul cry. Any suggestions? Yeah, pick up a classic game. I'd or play poker or blackjack. Those are card games, but their rules are fairer. You know what I mean? There is not a motivation for the manufacturer to continue to make more cards, which wouldn't that be fucking weird if they tried to make new cards for, you know, card games. If they tried to make a 13 of spades, you know, that'd be fucking weird. Tim Taylor says AVGN is the only dude from that era with no BS or skeletons in his closet. Hey man, I don't have BS or skeletons in my closet. That's what we've had this anything judgmental. And I try not to be, but like Jew Wario, that was a fucking thing. And it's just like just don't do that. Like, I don't know. I guess it's easy for you to say if you don't have those kind of problems. Nobody looks down on alcoholics anymore, really. They kind of do. Well, you've never driven drunk and killed people. Like, oh yeah, I forgot. I guess there's also an intensity of the thing. You know what I mean? I've told people before, like, I'm into that fetish where a man puts his penis in a woman's vagina. Like, that's fucking it. And like, well, we're accepting applications, as it turns out. Nobody wants to work for me though. You know? Nobody wants to cut some. Don't know why. Probably because I'm 5'5" manlet, but well, you saying I'm in a fucking house down here? A fucking house down here. I think I literally said that to this bitch while I was trying to get her to climb the wall. Climb. Then I wouldn't let her down. Then she started to cry. And I think people at that gym now think that I'm like some kind of an other. But hey, man, as they say in Australia, man, treat her mean, keep her keen. That's a real thing. That's a real fucking thing. No, I never watched the AVGN movie. I heard it was weird. I respect him for going the distance though. Kazlab says, did you ever watch Hunger Games? Yes, I've seen Hunger Games for that sweet, sweet Jennifer Lawrence. In a cat suit? You can survive with me any day, girl. I would purposely get myself put in those Hunger Games, kill all the other kids, and then just be like, all right, come on now, girl. You know, we're going to go start a campfire and sing Kumbaya. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be worth the fucking risk. AVGN, Kane the Warlock says, AVGN has been able to maintain relevance while Nostalgia Critic had basically crashed and burned a long time. Hey, I still watch Nostalgia Critic. I feel like I had a lot in common with him. Like, somebody who did skits that were not funny. He does skits that aren't funny, but like, you know, whatever. He's trying. It's low quality internet. It's not serious business. Happened, and it's all fucking, and you know,
That really sucked for me because I was a huge fan of the guy with the glasses crew, and realizing that it's kind of a shitty harassment style workplace and not like a bunch of kooky young college kids making fun videos. But there's some that I respect more than others. Like obviously Nostalgia Chick. Actually, she's quite intelligent, but I've heard that she has like a fucked up sordid past, like drove drunk or something like that. Todd in the Shadows has remained relevant, I think. Todd in the I watch a lot of his stuff, you know. I really like Todd in the Shadows. Had signed by him. I forgot about that. Kazlab says, also, James Rolfe is a cool guy. It's Mike Matei, the Atari Jaguar, too. And I was actually on, there were people sending me screenshots of the recommended videos when they clicked onto AVGN. I was there sometimes. So I'm pretty happy about that. Tim Taylor says, Juwario's You're Important video pretty much cemented, or that they said he got handsy at a convention or whatever. Again, I probably told this story before, but like something similar, you know, that presented itself. There was I think she was 17 like that, but she was a fan and she we talked, but not like that. And at one point, I think she got, weird and attached, and she was like, well, you could be my boyfriend. I was like, two things. One, you live halfway across the country. And I think I was like 22 at the time, maybe 21. So not that weird, but, I was like, you're halfway across the country. And no, you know what I mean? And she was cute, but I'm just like, no, this would be a bad fucking idea. Just don't be stupid. It works that way. Ironically, now that I'm 31, I'm a dirty old man, and, or a 31-year-old dirty man, and the little Miss Thing from The Office is 21. And so all the shit that I've been spitting game at recently, it's happened 3 fucking times. Where I've tried to get I guess I'm a bad judge of age. I thought this last one was 25. I don't know. It's not really something that you think about. You usually don't ask a woman her fucking age. With that being said, no, I'm saying, I've had opportunities because we want to generally live in anarchists generally want to live in a world without Gubby. And we feel like the best way to do that is to be the example, to lead by example and be the change in the world that you wish to see. So there was one Otakon where there was some Miss Thing from Indiana who was trying to get on my dick. But I was in a relationship at that point, and she had kind of a beta male orbiter with her. And I tried to spin it so that dude could maybe get some of that. And when I was walking away, Zach was just like, why did you do that? You know what I mean? He's like, why were you trying so hard to? And I think I might have had a cigar in my mouth, and I was finishing it up, and I flicked the cigar off the balcony. And I said, because this is Otakon, goddammit, and no one should be upset at Otakon. I deem this to be, I am the, super. And I was like, nah. And I was not happy in that relationship, but I don't do that to people, because do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I wasn't even using it's not even a religious argument. It's just a base argument of yeah, man, if you start releasing bioweapons, people might fucking nuke you. Live by the sword, die by the sword, faggot. So anyway, John Doucette. I'm sorry. I wasn't I thought your name was Ledouche or something like that. Oh, wait a second. Kazlab asks a very important question. He says, are you a breast or an ass man? Ass man. All the goddamn way. I actually prefer to have a larger ass and smaller forward guns. B cup is fine. But a nice fat ass. John Doucette says, Tolstoy, I've been a fan for a very long time and would like to thank you for the enjoyment you've given me over the years. Oh, man, you don't gotta thank me, but please donate to me on Patreon. I'll be in the court and be like, Mr. Tolstoy, Mr. Evsky, did you or did you not say donate to my Patreon? I will suck your dick. I'll just be like, Your Honor, it was a joke. And then they'll probably throw me in jail. So Sarah says, the question is whether you saw her again at that. Who we talking about? I gotta scroll back up. Saw who again? Did I? What? Maybe long and then but I'm trying to rack up the questions so we don't end up with okay. 8-Man says, that's why you talk so tough. You're 5 foot. No, I'm 5'5", and fuck you. Okay, come get it. I will always bring up the fight between Kimbo Slice and Hector Macho Camacho, who's 5'6". Fuck off. Kazlab says, Wario was Spoonie's best friend. Such a tragic story. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I Am Who I Am says, how about a Sackboy ASMR video? So what is, it's just like Dark Sackboy, like leaning around the mic and going like, the angels of destruction are coming for you. And now you have to like, you know what I mean? Like, itchy ear. Oh, there we go. Shit sitting in my ear for 2 hours makes my fucking ear itch. Tim Taylor says, and Spoonie is all fucked up. Yeah. But I know what it's like to make promises to fans that your ass doesn't keep. I think the difference is he's unemployed. Like, I have shit I have to do with my life. Sort of. Not anymore. Thanks, Corona. Thanks, China. Hashtag nuke China. I'm going to keep meaning it until it comes true. We all need to remember that this was a fucking bioweapon that they released. Kazlab208 says, did you know Todd in the Shadows and Lindsay Ellis were an item at one point? Is that nostalgia check? Because too on certain things, but she comes across as a fairly well-spoken, intelligent, I would say young lady, not young anymore. She didn't hold up too well. She hit the wall, but hey, so too shall we all. And I can't sit here from my neckbeard throne saying that I'm some kind of cut. I'm saying just looking at his dark profile, you can tell he's kind of chubby. So I'm surprised that those two hooked up. Maybe because he's tall. Tall meatheads just like that. That's all they have. I swear to God, it's literally just anytime that I lose the fight, I try, convince a woman of anything. I generally wonder if essentially if you're just not tall, just kill yourself. Because like that's kind of just like I was thinking if my life doesn't go to shit, my dad could show me how to ride a motorcycle. And I'm like, if I ride a motorcycle out to a national park to go fucking rock climbing and like, black bear hunting with a, 12 gauge, like, is that good enough? Am I badass enough? Like, fucking what do I have to do? Like, I'm assuming at this point it's literally just he tall. Like, all right, bitch, whatever. Which I'm not sure if that is actually like I noticed that a lot of tall people have problems with their back and their joints. So is it? And also they're generally slower on reaction time. I've done tests like on reaction time games in arcades and shit like that. This is actually really science. It sounds pseudoscientific, but your parasympathetic nervous system can relay commands to your joints faster or your limbs faster if you're smaller, because get this, it doesn't have as far to travel. So you get like 0.01 more second of reaction time, which people who have seen me kick into action have been like, oh wow, you're actually pretty fast. Anyway, sucks. There's no loyalty in the game these days. Nuke China. I Am Who I Am says, how do you feel that Harvey Weinstein tested positive for, he's going to test positive for something else in prison. You know what I'm saying? Sayoran Lee says, you the man, Tolstoy. I know. It's hard to be the man. Lab says, hey man, take that 21-year-old out to Atlantis City. Atlantis City? Do you mean Atlantic City? So I have to go to Jersey? I don't want to go to fucking Jersey. I don't want to get stabbed. There we go. Oh god, it all updated all at fucking once. This is take that 21-year-old out to Atlantic City because you know what they say, whatever happens in Atlantis. He keeps saying Atlantis. Okay. Well, nah, I'm pretty much done. Like, she failed a whole bunch of shit tests of mine. Like, you know what I mean? This is gonna get interesting. I'm legitimately waiting for if this does turn into the full Lou, the full Big Igloo. I can't wait because I'm not my beta male boyfriend. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna like, all right, bitch. Well, and then I get to decide, like, am I taking her as a concubine? Fetus the Great says, when do you think the bubble on classic gaming will bust? If it keeps getting... he says, when do you think the bubble on classic gaming will bust? It keeps getting worse. I hate that emulating gets you shit. It is impossible to buy from all of that. Like, all these games that all these Zoomers like that they say are classic, those were just the games I grew up playing. Fuck off. Quit calling me old. Kazlab says, last JRPG you're into. Christ. Pokemon. But if you're talking about Final Fantasy style shit, probably Final Fantasy VII. But that was over a decade ago. And I finished it. Christ. Sayoran Lee says, I've been watching you since 2009, and you're one of the few YouTubers I come back to continuously. Keep it up, my friend. I just realized, I was like, I never had 4 PSPs. And I was like, yes, you did. You had 4 fucking PSPs. You goddamn weeb. Wait a second. Fat PSP, Slim PSP, PSP 3000. Yeah, that was Christ, I bought so many goddamn PSPs. They were a great game system. Although the 3DS, well, 3DS doesn't have any fucking software. Oh fuck. Kazlab says, yeah, Spoonie's house is getting foreclosed on, so his notion isn't fucking real. Doesn't fucking understand. Which is why, like, I really have to be careful. Like, drinking is not good. Working out is good. Like, you must stay fucking motivated. It's so hard to tell yourself to keep staying motivated. I'll ever know. Or the guy near the end just sits down and says, I can't, and he just dies. It's like that's the choice that you have to make with depression every single day. Are you gonna sit down on the log and die, or are you gonna keep fucking trying? Hardy Hat says, hello, you silly humans. So this implies you're not. A high at a bar intoxicated? For starting a high. Do you mean a fire? A high. So what, she like pulled out a doobie and like started like going like, yeah, I'm starting a high. Like, I don't understand. Kane the Warlock says, you really need to look at the Black Lodge shit from Twin Peaks because I think you could do a great parody of the Red Room scenes with the Sack Boys. Okay, I will try to watch it again, man. And it was like around the age of like 20 when I was like, wait a minute. It was like around the age around like 20 when I was like, wait a minute, women like tall men? Like, this is something that was never described to me, and I never felt self-conscious about it. Like, I was a fat kid. I felt really self-conscious about that. But I legitimately like this concept of like relatively violent area. Like, I don't even want to talk about it, half the shit. But I remember how many kids tried to like shake me down in high school. And like, even as a short kid, I was like, then come get it. I mean, I kept like sharpened pencils in certain tactical areas that I was going to stick them with. Like, I'm not going to fucking lie about that. Like, of course you need a weapon if you're smaller, but either way, yeah, it never bothered me, but it has gotten to a point where I'm just like, is that it? Is that what's an issue? I do not put off the air. Well, actually, that's not fucking true because unfortunately, I've invested in some pretty. I've invested in some like pretty top tier outdoors stuff, you know, clothing. That's because that's like the new thing. But like, I was into going outdoors before all you hipster faggots with your North Face showed up. But I actually wonder if by wearing North Face, because like I asked that chick out from the gym and I got her number, like I was wearing my North Face hoodie, and I'm wondering if that's like a resource flex. Like, I'm wondering if I also noticed I had a lot more success when I wore the suit. So it might not be a matter of height, it might be a matter of money. So I don't fucking know, but don't care. Don't really fucking care. If bitches don't know what's good, they don't know what's fucking good, baby. Let's keep it going. Oh, fuck. And then literally the next message is from Tim Taylor. It says, height doesn't matter either. It's the bank account. Yeah, tell me about it. Like, fuck me. So like I said, like I'm walking around with like because I was making good money before this shit happened. I'm walking around with a fucking $200 cool jacket. Like, fuck. Metal Doomer says China needs to pay for and take responsibility for this. Yeah, nuke them. Nuke them till they glow, baby. Kazlab208 says, do you think Bill Cosby will be able to survive the boog? Do I think an elderly comedian will be able to survive the boog? Probably not. Interesting. I Am Who I Am says Hillary Duff has a big ass. Wasn't she that girl who was like Hannah Montana? She was one of them. I don't think she was Hannah Montana. She was like pre-Hannah Montana. I'll tell you who I did like. Doesn't look too good now, but, and this is not creepy because I was her age. She's my age, but Amanda Bynes. That brief period where she was in Maxim magazine. Oh, yes. Yes. But anyway, well, I don't like blondes. And she has like a kind of a bimbo-y look to her. Oh, okay, girl. Never mind, actually. I need a lot of junk in the trunk, all right? You know, I got shit I got to do today. Sarah says, guess it's different for the gays. Height means nothing. Like, I'm so very confused of it's a choice. Like, fuck, then I would have chosen to be gay a long ass time ago. Eight Man says, looks and being tall don't mean shit. If you're a man to God, why do all of you have really weird grammar? Don't mean shit. If you're a man, oh, you need to put a period there. If you're a man to pick up women, I'm broke, 6'7", look like Hayden Christensen, and no pussy for me because I have no money. Yeah. Well, that's pretty true of me. Well, yeah, it does. I mean, you could camp on it technically and definitely while you look for a job. Orky Bork says, are the powers that be still ensuring that there are less powerful organisms so that the status quo isn't overthrown? Yes, I suppose so. Caslab says, so not drinking alcohol tonight. Waited 10 decades too fucking long, and they did some... I got a zit right here. They did some SJW shit. I'm guessing that, like, Barrett is still fucking ripped and manly. I'm guessing that Cloud is still a pretty boy. Oh, but we can't have juicy titties? Yeah, get the fuck out. Kane the Warlock says, technically in 5 to 6 years, the PS3 will be retro. Fuck. Oh, most like God of War that I actually really like is Alice Madness Returns. And I played that high. I played that tripping dicks. And I remember as I was coming up and having a little bit of anxiety, and just like in the back of my mind, I was like, okay. And as I'm coming up, I start noticing her dodge attack, which makes a bunch of little blue flies. The butterflies started coming off the screen. And I was like, yep. Oh, man. Kazlab says, so Mulan got delayed indefinitely because of the virus stigma. Do you think it was rightfully so? I think we should nuke China. And I hate Disney. We should also nuke Disney. So that's good. Kazlab says, also live act got rid of the Mushu character. And I think I know why. They're trying to appeal to China, and Chinese don't like certain people. It's known that they're not stick Mulan telling, and they don't want a magic talking dragon. And then the scene they show in the trailer where there's some evil witch bitch that not only runs up walls Matrix style, but turns into a hawk. And I was like, okay, they just got rid of it because it was originally done by a black guy. Got it. Tim Taylor says, you fucked with bourbon? What? Great to catch a stream. Keep doing what you enjoy. I wish I could. I can these days do pretty much nothing that I enjoy. Sarah says, I have some cool pants for hiking. Best pants ever. 511s. I will see you and raise you 511s. The only reason I wouldn't invest in more 511 gear is because of its military look. I feel like you can casually wear 511 pants, and as long as your top isn't like looking too military, then you don't look like you're trying to be anyway. Kazlab 208 says Hillary Duff was in. That's it. Lizzie McGuire. There you go. I remember that when I was a kid, which they are thinking of rebooting. Interesting. Tim Taylor says Amanda Bynes was Mama. Okay. Pinky315 says, my respect for you is immense. Aw, thank you. Okay, one, everything is bumping up. It told Drake to tear her pussy up a few years ago. I feel like a few years ago, she didn't look good. And plus, I know that that's not true because Drake doesn't fuck with anything that's over 18. Ooh, snap. Snap. Kazlab says, do you like Shia LaBeouf as an actor? No, I also think he's a crackhead in a bowling alley. I feel bad for him and how far he's fallen. PKG96 says aliens have been confirmed. Really? Link to the article. Kazlab208 says, weren't the butterflies coming off the screen when you were playing Alice? Yeah, because I was tripping dicks. Shit was cash. Sarah says, I can look at it. Orange Elite 2552 says, do you still have all your old games and systems? No, I either sold them or gave them away. Matt Lies says, are you loving the low gas prices? Just filled my Jeep up. Yeah, well, I'm not going anywhere. So the answer is kind of no. Like, what should I do? Stockpile gas for when this whole thing blows over? The Japanese also don't like the Chinese, so it comes both ways. Yeah, word. Amanda Bynes also said her parents took advantage of her when she was a kid. She says most of that money she ended up making spent frivolously by them. That fucking sucks. Interesting. Jake Steed says, Tolstoy National Guard has been activated. Next, they are going to try and take your guns. Be careful. Yeah. Fuck around. I'm not seeing it fucked up on my end. Whenever it does and I notice it, I stop talking for a little bit. That's why you're seeing these pauses if you can. Lab says, so what's your favorite nude scene in any form of entertainment? You're all gonna give me shit, but I don't care. I like thick bitches. Like generals gathered in their masses. I like bitches with fat asses. So, in American Beauty, when Thora Birch takes her fucking top off, that is the appropriate amount of fat, big old juicy titties. That was great. Now I'm sure that now she looks. Actually, she reminded me of the girl next door because I grew up next to a lady who, the girl was. Oh fuck. I actually grew up next to a girl who was part Inuit, and she had very a pagan fertility goddess, like just fucking hips out to next goddamn Tuesday. Shit was amazing. Oh yeah, well, her tits did look like a railroad map of Scotland. They were very veiny. She was surprisingly white for somebody who was part Inuit. Trying to find out where I lost my place. Ever watched the 1995 Paul Verhoeven classic Showgirls? No, isn't that a chick flick? No. Tim Taylor says very yum. Stephen Knight says, do you think this coronavirus is suspiciously like The Division? Yes, that's actually why I've been playing The Division 2, which unfortunately is not as good as Division 1, which is hysterical because it's DC. If I'm from that area. So I recognize some of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, hey, me and Kenny had Kazlab says, I would stick my hand in that bathtub of roses every day. No, you're... No, you're thinking of the wrong one. Nice and juicy. She had fat ass. Of course my connection's fucking unstable. It's always fucking... Thora Birch was also in The Hole, if you ever get a chance to see that. One of the greatest horror films ever made. Scared the shit out of me. I should rewatch that. I think I might watch that tonight. But then Kazlab very strangely asks if I prefer a lady with a bush or shaved. Shaved, unfortunately. LG says, do you like spicy food? Okay, but if I was going to watch porn, I would just watch porn, my guy. Oh, Tim Taylor says, you like okra in your gumbo? That's the only way I make gumbo, with okra. Son, I like okra and everything. Stephen Knight says, I just beat the Division 2, never played the first one. I'm reading the American Pageant, and fuck, I can't believe this got published. You know, no, not really, unfortunately. I haven't read a lot concerning America. I don't, which is weird because I know a lot about our history. I guess most of it has been through. I was trying to read about the ninjas, and I can't. It's so cringy. And before that, I was trying to read through the sixth extinction, but it's also really depressing. So just put it down. Kazlab says, did you ever play Horizon Zero Dawn? Apparently Ashley Birch from Hey Ash, What You're Playing was the main character. Yep. And I actually, through 2 degrees of separation, I know those two. I know Ashley and Anthony Birch. Okay, not really, but a friend of mine had dinner with them. And apparently Anthony came on to her in front of her husband. And anyway, but my brother played it. I never actually played it, but I thought that the story was super fucking original. And it had a little bit of, I wouldn't even call it feminism. I'm okay with what was her name? Laszlo? Kayla? Halo. But yeah. Ask questions. Oh, F. Oh, God. Ugh. Gear. But you're a ghost pilot in a meat bag. I was going to get it for you anyway. I was just The hoodie out of my car. The green hoodie. It's in my car. I heard something about it might have been engineered to create a weird, awkward situation with medical supplies. Interesting. You won't even believe this. I'm trying, mate. I don't even understand. When I looked in the my deck, they were asking me questions about like my Pokemon card collection, and I was like, yeah, I never got a GX card out of it or whatever. What are the... Oh, hang on. The shit's all stalled. What? I don't even understand. This was just on the floor. I must have gotten this a long time ago, and I didn't even know. It's a fucking EX holographic full art Charizard. Like, I don't know what this is worth. I remember that I quickly went up to the thing and was like, I want your nicest protector. It looks kind of dicked up, though. Wow. Holy shit. I forgot that I had that. That is fucking crazy. I completely forgot about that. It was in Patriot Games? All right, hang on. We're going to go all the way back. Well, that's pretty much where we were. Yeah, that was the exact thing. Thor Birch was in Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger, the Tom Clancy-based film starring Harrison Ford as Jack Ryan. Harrison Ford was Jack Ryan in those? I read Tom Clancy. He's a native of Baltimore, and he was killed for what he knew. And she played his daughter. I forgot she was Spacey's daughter, right? Yeah, she was Kevin Spacey's daughter, and she's all frumpy because she's a sad, lonely girl who... I hate that meme. I hate that meme so fucking much because it's bullshit. Because if you're a woman, all that ever happens is hoodie incoming. It's a Mega Charizard card. No, don't throw that. I don't want it. Stop. Why would you do this? I can't believe you've done this. Okay, hang on. It's getting kind of cold. Also, this hoodie is cold. Like, I shit you not. Like, remember, I was in a situation financially, and I had just passed my exams. Like, this is a $50 fucking hoodie. It's retarded. Maybe bitches see me in this hoodie, which, by the way, I think actually makes me look more buff than I really am, which is fine by me. Like, I have to admit, North Face shit fits me a lot better than, like, it's not the usual situation you see at most stores don't fit me because I'm a manlet, apparently. Anyway, yeah, so that's interesting. I never pictured, you know who I actually always thought Jack Ryan to look like? And, Kazlab says, what was for dinner tonight? Well, I haven't eaten dinner. I'm keeping my tummy empty, and it's probably going to be oatmeal. I've stocked up a shit ton of oatmeal, which ironically, I was explaining to my mom how, like, there's this really weird thing going on with marketing right now, which may explain, like, the balkanization and tribalization of our society having to do with robots are essentially analyzed, really advertised that on the box. The box is green, has a topographical map, and it has a bear's face on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I know that I'm in category, A26 Alpha Bravo, whatever the fuck. And it's like outdoorsy guy, probably also cross references on the Venn diagram with goes to the gym, can be marketed to by making hunter green and put a wild animal on the front. Like, that's 2 times that shit got me. But either way, it's perfect boog food. Shit, I have a massive bag of rice and beans. Got some... Kazlab says, how long is my work quarantined for? Oh, fuck me. The connection's unstable, my dick. Unstable connection. Then Kazlab says, you gonna rewatch Lost soon? No, not really. I actually didn't finish my second rewatch. I can't do it again, man. I miss it too much. Mike says, have you ever consumed psychedelics? What do you think? Kazlab says, when was the last time you had a chili dog? It was from... fucking word, this fucking connection is unstable. Fucking connection, piece of shit. The last time I had a chili dog, Miami, but delicious fast food place called Cookout. I've only seen them in the South. And it didn't sit well with me. Zero Dawn was one of my favorite PS4 games. It doesn't have a similar premise to. It does have a similar premise to Halo. Love the combat in it. Yeah, we're. Kazlab being weird. Caution, it's cool cat says, "Hey, oh boy, any chance you can do a quick review of that fancy paramilitary too?" Yeah, man, it's sharp. I want to get you guys like an actual full review of this one day. Ooh, what do you think about that? Yeah, you like that? There you go. One day I'll get out of this mess, and I'll. Anyway, Caslab says, "Did you watch Blade?" I watched. What was the one where it's like him in Jersey, and he needs to move out of his parents' place? I was not impressed. Zach Braff is a cool dude. I don't think he's a good director. Everything froze. Stephen Knight says, "I think he went to get the vodka." No, I went to get a hoodie. I'm going to be sober. I didn't drink. Lab says, "Did you finish watching Mad Men?" Oh, yeah. The ending was shit. They didn't fix. Oh, fuck. They didn't really solve anything with the end of Mad Men. Like, he was hallucinating near the end. And, like, they just kind of was like, yeah. And everyone's like, does he have, like, liver damage or is he syphilitic? And the creators were like, Japanese and Mexican. Caution, it's cool cat says, Mannix 2 or Paramilitary 2? I need more knife talk, Crazy T. Mannix 2. Infinitely stronger lockup, prettier blade, I think. Like, but as we have discussed before, Tolstoy likes fat bitches. Not fat bitches, but I don't know where my fucking I think the so hungry right now. But I can't eat. I gotta keep my tummy open. At least that'll make the tea go down better. Fuck. F. A whore that was controlled by old media. God damn. I like my drawings. I don't think I'm like the world's best artist, obviously, but I think I actually have some chops. And then for some reason there was old Tolstoy underneath with a sword. Me fighting it. Yeah, the binding on this was actually really decent. Oh, and then I started taking notes on Salvia divinorum. It looks just like a mint plant. Fuck. Hell yeah. Yeah, this is good. I just kind of wanted like I can write, draw, doodle anything I wanted as an art book because I saw some girl at an airport who kind of had something similar going on. And I admired her notebook because I'm kind of a notebook fag, if you haven't figured that out. And then I never got to fucking use this. Tight. Dude, look at that. Look at that style of map. You know that's like pornographic for me. Too bad the paper's lined. Lined papers. Dot grid is where it's at. Anyway. My room is just a fucking mess. I need to clean everything up. Kazlab says, "Did you ever get into Phantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast?" Nope. Internet connection back then. Stephen Knight says, "Have you played the new Doom or Doom 2016? Was sick as fuck. I'm playing now on Ultra Violent." I tried to get into it. I just kind of couldn't, and I don't know why. I don't really like classic shooters. I like modern day tactical shooters. So anything by Tom Clancy. I just really like really realistic gun physics and whatnot. I don't really like kooky energy weapons, which is weird because I did like Halo a shit ton. But obviously, anytime that actually that's not true. I use the Needler a shit ton in that. CCK says, just started to get into journaling. What's the best notebook for using fountain pens? Rhodia tomorrow, Rhodia yesterday, Rhodia forever. Sarah says, do you also have an obsession with maps and dictionaries? Yeah, I have a shit ton. Well, not dictionaries, but maps. Like, I'm an explorer type, man. I gotta know where I'm going, which is weird because I can't like read a map or a compass for shit. I know, like I'm not good at land nav. I've learned a bit, but not enough to like lead an expedition. I'll tell you that now. Tim Taylor says Kenny Rogers is dead. Yeah, man, people die. Kazlab208 says, can you read enough? He sounds like he has something loose in him. That's not good at all. He keeps fucking falling over because the figure doesn't want to fucking stand up correctly. Like, Christ sakes, bananas. Let's see here. Oh, fuck. No, that is far too personal. I will never talk about that. Well, this one's about adventure. I actually have this video, and I haven't published the video because I don't know how I feel about it. Oh, yeah. I passed the test. I'm honestly a tad embarrassed at just how easy it was. The days leading up to the test date spent cramming of pharmacy or purposefully deceptive. So much so that I must admit shamefully that I took to tearing up the study books in anger. That... Yeah, Christ. I'm not going to read her name out loud, but blank, the girl who had been damn near in my lap a few weeks ago, offered to go out drinking with me and sell. Stephen Knight says Tom Clancy for the win, and then Halo for the win. Indeed. Kazlab says, did you watch the live action Aladdin? No, I don't fucking like Disney, nor do I care about them cashing in on my childhood. Oh, yeah, I do. When I'm going someplace, I'll look up the route I'm going on. Kazlab208 says, did you ever finish Resistance 2? Yeah, I played all the Resistances. Yeah, Resistance 3. Looked into Sunto watches. The Core is a great outdoors watch. Yeah, they're like $1 million, man. I look at like, I've seen Sunto compasses that are $100, and I'm like, bitch, it's a compass. What is wrong with you? Which is part of what makes me think that like the outdoor world is just an excuse for readers to show how, to show off their, you know what I mean? What's the word? Resource flex. You know what I mean? Like you see all these guys wearing like Arc'teryx, and it's like, you don't really do anything, do you? Like you don't even ski, do you? And they're like, well, I guess it makes more sense than paying a lot of money for basically what is just a suit jacket, for example, which is just cloth. Like at least the shit's like water resistant. It's a performance thing, but it's also kind of the same as like dudes who buy like try to impress truck sluts by buying like, you know, really fucking expensive lifted fucking loud Stephen Knight. More shit went down. Stephen Knight says, did you beat Metro Exodus yet? And have you played the DLC Sam Story? No, I've only played I downloaded the 2 different DLCs for it, and I kind of got bored and stopped playing. I wanted to finish the 2 kernels before I went on to Sam's Story, but I might continue. I might play that tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Sarah says, just dropped in to see, says, but your favorite black actor, Will Smith, plays the genie. Did you ever watch The Big Lebowski? Yes, I've seen The Big Lebowski. And I'm not he's my favorite black actor. I mean, I quite enjoy him, but I don't know if you can say he's my favorite black actor. Or blackter, if you prefer. Phenomena. Can't believe I did not remember ever getting a Mega Charizard Full Art EX, GX, whatever the fuck it's called. I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention. More Kazlab says, so do you think Aaron McGruder will do that Boondocks reboot justice? It can't happen because John Witherspoon is dead. So I don't know where Granddad's gonna come from, but it's done, son. Put it to bed. Oh, that's a weird question. Sarah says, do you have a personal beacon locator for when you're out hiking? Do I look like I have the money for that? And also, if I get lost and die, I don't. Been a long-time viewer going all the way back since the first Big Daddy figure review, and I finally unfucked my computer, so now I can comment on live streams. Always glad to see your vids, my guy. Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, I just do them whenever I have chance, just to kind of keep you guys updated. Caution, it's cool cat says, also, have you ever heard of geocaching? Yeah, there was a girl who tried to get me into geocaching, and like if there isn't some sort of risk, you know what I mean? It's like Teddy Roosevelt, I think, once actually said, the fun of a bear hunt is getting over. Surprisingly not. I have not been super motivated. The thing that I really want to do to get outside, the two new, the outdoor things that I really want to do is 1, hunt, and 2, rock climb, like real life rock climb. Forgot I got all my journals over here. Steven Knight says, did you ever watch Bleach? Kazlab208 says, how far did you get into Naruto? Were you able to make it to the time skip? Oh. So a time skip, huh? So I guess somewhere on the line he becomes Hokage and like it's like a sudden. No, I didn't get that far. I was like 9 off. I didn't get to finish it, but that wasn't what I was angry about. She had some sort of like weird hang up. Oh my Christ, everything's going down. She had some sort of weird hang up where she thought that I was trying to break her and her husband up. What kind of decks we got? Fuck it. Oh yeah. I never opened this. The art looked kind of cool for a minute back in the day. The Fireflies deck. Looked to the light, looked to the Fireflies, but now it looks kind of ugly. Whatever. That's fucking while I'm waiting for you guys to load me up with comments. And you know how we'll open it? Like, yep. Paramilitary 2. Just happens to be here. Don't cut the fucking box. Oh, I'll try to brush up on some cardistry here. Probably won't do very good. Some ASMR. Turn me up in the headphones so I can hear it. Ugh. Yeah, these are some hideous cards. Oh, that fresh deck smell, though. Okay, well, at least they dicked with the court cards a little bit. The court cards look interesting. See if I can still fan. Yeah. Ah, nope, double back gaff card. It breaks. Okay, circle cut. Circle cut's pretty good. Let's see if I can do a Z break. Yep. Huh. Surprisingly, I'm doing quite well. Oh, it's a new deck of cards, and I just got out of the fucking shower, so my hand clean of oil, which really helps. Actually, this deck just handles really amazingly. It's ugly as shit, but oops. Well, that was slow. First place that I would want to do it in would be Pilot Mountain. Has some really high 60-foot walls or so that you can learn on, and I believe they're rated at 5.8, which would be pretty challenging the first time. Sarah says, I'm trying to get scuba certified so I can go dive in Bon Air. Dude, take me with you. Kazlab says, ever get into Austin Powers? Of course. I was a child of the 90s. That shit was hysterical. I like that more than I like James Bond. Ahmed Arif says, I'm living in Malaysia. Okay, well, how's Malaysia doing with the COVID? Kazlab says, the time skip was for 3 years when he was 15. I see. What was that other? Oh no, I remember was that one trick that I could never do was the weird ass. What's that thing? The lapel flourish. Yeah, I can't do the fan that once you do a kind of circle cut and you get enough of them on there, and there's like I forget what that's called, and I didn't even do it good. That's better. Yeah, that's not bad. That's supposedly you do a circle cut, you load it, and now you can kind of do that. Make fans with them. Stephen Knight says, you excited about Resident Evil 3 remake? Nope. Can't buy it. Plus, I'm probably going to have to wait for it to come down anyway, because I'm not going to pay full fucking price. Did I cut myself? Huh. Oh, never mind. I could literally just be... the calluses on my hands are coming off because I haven't been working out as much. Caution Cool Cat says, would you ever get into caving, like the serious squeeze kind of shit? So, I thought that I would be interested in that. Wait, are these? Yeah. And North Carolina has a couple of like baby caves that can kind of give you the taste for that. And I tried and I got stuck not stuck, but yeah, I could not advance. Like I realized like, ooh, this is way more frightening than being hung up high. Like, Pharaoh Shuffle was fucking terrible. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Doing cardistry hurts my fingers. Ow, fuck off. Yep, we're going to put that away. Sarah asks if I can throw cards. Nah. Nope. Just like doing card tricks. Kazlab says, so would Simon be the closest in-betweener to you? He's the one that chases after the childhood friend Carly. I don't remember their names. I remember that I think his name was Jay, the really annoying blonde one who's just kind of an ass. Was Simon the nerd? Oh, they were all nerds. I don't really remember. It was a while since I've seen any of those. Kazlab says, did you watch The Love Guru? They're saying the failing of that movie is the reason we never got an Austin Powers 4. We don't need to do that. Please stop. Kane the Warlock says, have you ever seen the novelization of the Austin Powers movies? They're insane. I could only imagine. You ever watch Spawn the movie? Or favorite Windows operating system? XP. Was that what it was called? XP? Windows XP. Yes. Sarah says, ever learn to get a decent angle when sharpening a knife? Nope. Never did, because I suck. Stephen Knight says, what's your favorite building in the Division 2? Air and Space Museum. Kazlab says, will guys, that's the most normal. Yeah. Maxwell's in. Oh, fuck. So Mac beers smell like weed. It smells awful. It smells like skunk weed. Like that really low quality of weed. Like, fuck. That was a better Pharaoh Shuffle. Sarah says Windows 7. Yeah. Tricks like roll it across your knuckles. I tried. That's like something I've never been able to do, believe it or not. That was a terrible fan. Try that again. Much better. I realize you kind of can't see what my hands are doing. App. I always end up losing these goddamn things on the fucking floor. And that did not look good. Z-cut. We've been doing this for 3 fucking hours. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, I keep... so Sarah says no homo, but... Wait, what do you mean no homo? How How would it be homo damn time? And I keep on messing up my back, and I think I've just decided to stop doing that exercise. So I've kind of just decided to stop doing that fucking exercise. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'll just double up on lunges and wall sits for a while. I don't know. So Sarah says squat requires good hip and ankle mobility. Yeah, and I think I've screwed up my hip mobility from that one injury. My room is a fucking mess right now. Like, I've just got a bunch of boot gear. Kind of just chilling out. Feet shoulder width apart, and I usually have to stick my hands out. That's about as, there you go. And for some reason, I can do that normally, but I can't bloody do that with weight on my back, and I don't know why. And I intel people, I guess I could just fucking go to the gym. I guess it really wouldn't, as long as they don't close it down. Maxwell says, I'm about to grow back my kick-ass beard. Do you approve? Yes, of course I approve. Beards are always a good decision. Stephen Knight says, what's your fave streaming? Dust your fucking room, man. Fuck off. You're not the first person to tell me that, by the way. Yeah, you're like, oh. Sarah says, cutting out too much, so hey. Yeah, sorry about that. I know Morpheus's chair from The Matrix, right? When I saw that shit, I was like, I need that fucking chair. Tim Taylor says, we got a little hat in the chat. I don't know. For some reason, and maybe it's that I'm just doing too much weight, but like I can't really get a good rip unless I set it to like 165, you know? And I recently messed myself up doing just 135. I don't know. I don't get why, but anyway. Starring Shaq. That's the Superior Black Genie movie, but it looked like he wrote Genesis movie. And I was like, Black Genesis. Sounds like a cool name for a fucking anime or something like that, like Project Black Genesis. Yeah. God damn. Then Kazlab asks if I've rewatched Gurren Lagann recently. I have not. I think I started like about 5 years ago. I started watching it again, and then I kind of just tuned out. It's a little loud and shouty, like, you know. I don't know how else to say that. And everyone's talking about how the quality of the stream is shit. Which is probably right. It's probably right. What was the one with the Gabbit called? Oddworld 3, basically. Stephen Knight says, and Demon Slayer. I don't know. Is that a show I'm supposed to watch? Demon Slayer? Sarah says, do you have a guilty pleasure anime? No, not really. Like, all anime is kind of a guilty pleasure if you ever feel guilty, which I fucking don't, so. Well, Steve, you should know that I don't fucking watch new anime. I watched like one new anime in a decade, and I already watched A Gene Demi-Human, so that's it. So any of the Berserk manga, it got too weird for me. Yeah, a buddy of mine, Sam, really wants me to watch Berserk, but what? Maxwell says, be honest, how many Yorks have you watched? What's a York? Oh, and by your I mean hentai. I don't. God can see. Yep, I don't like Chinese cartoon porn. I think I did like for half a second when I was a kid, and then when I realized you can see real women taking their clothes off, I was like, oh yeah, that. I didn't want a representation of it. Like when I was a kid, like I would read manga, I would like look through mangas for like the sexy, half naked whatever pictures, and I like rub my hand on the page and shit. But then once I realized that one can see, real women like Thora Birch take their clothes off, I was like, ah, well, then that. The other thing is that like anime always has this fucking horrible meme in it, like where, and I can't stand this, where it's like the woman is like confused about like wanting to be it's the weirdest fucking shit. All of their dirty talk is American. Like, I need you to slap that bitch on the ass and call her a whore, and then she says, yeah, I'm your dirty bitch daddy. Like, that's the only, I can't do the Chinese cartoon porn. Kazlab 208 says, you need to watch interspecies reviews. It will blow a Jean Demi-Human out of the water. No, it can't, because Sato isn't in it. But whatever. They like once, and it quickly got annoying. Stephen Knight says, have I ever watched Sunny in Philadelphia? I tried. I couldn't get into it. It's not my kind of humor. Caleb Warlock says, the original Berserk anime is good, but cuts out too much of what it's supposed to from California that was on the podcast that must not be named. Yes, he was on the podcast that will never be. I'm a lightweight and 7 beers in. Christ, I admire you. I wish I could be drinking right now, but I can't do that to my body again. Kazlab208 says, would one of those mangas that you were trying to find nudity be Hot Gimmick? No, I actually read Hot Gimmick because I liked it. Fuck off. Well, the neighbor girl next door also liked it. And so once I kind of correlated with like, because she couldn't have those Chinese cartoon books. If she did, her very religious family would, behead her. So, every time I scrambled together $8 in change, I'd go on down there to that cartoon book store. Really, it was a Borders. Actually, it wasn't even a Borders. It was a Walden's. Remember fucking Walden's? And I'd buy me one of those, and then we'd sit next to each other on the couch reading them. The poor little orbiter that I was. The poor little orbiter. Christ. Nah, I would just like go through like the book and be like, yeah, this one has like anything that was a harem anime, like Fruits Basket or whatever. If I recognized it had a bunch of nice, juicy, big titties on the front, I'd be like, okay. And I would like look through that. But I was like, like 12 or 13. Like once I realized like, plus also I think, well, anyway. Maxwell says, I agree. Anime is kind of trash. It is. Anime is a mistake. Tim Taylor says, I have a faint memory of a podcast that must not be named, but I can't remember why it must not be named. It must not be named. We will never speak of it. And by the way, Maxwell was also in that. So, fuck. And Max says, and I'd like a lot of anime, so I would know. Stephen Knight says, do you play on Xbox, PC, or PS4, PC? That's about it. Tim Taylor says, brah, remember bookstores? Those were the shit. Yeah, they still exist. Millennials are keeping not only bookstores, but libraries afloat because we're hipsters and we like to read. Kazlab208 says, oh man, Fruits Basket is the shit. Did you know there was a rebooted anime of it? It came out last year. Look, man, the only harem anything that I'm down for is fucking Tenchi Muyo. That's all it fucking is, baby. And then Orange Elite says, did you watch Toonami back in the early aughts? Like, I forgot. No, Max definitely wasn't there. We've definitely not met in public before. Sarah says she vaguely remembers the podcast. No, you don't. Kazlab 2. Anyway. Kazlab says, also, a new season of Tenchi Muyo is coming out later this year. Really? Stephen Knight says, you ever played Devil May Cry? Yeah, I tried. I couldn't get into it. Well, I sort of did, and connection got fucked. Oh, fuck. I need to, like, lay out or something. Oh, fuck. So I'm not coming on to you. This is actually comfortable-ish. Yeah, I tried to play Devil May Cry, and I think I got stopped on the fucking fiery spider boss. That shit was Sekiro before Sekiro was Sekiro. And really, the game that I got the farthest in that had that level of difficulty was called Ninja Gaiden. Like, I fucking loved Ninja Gaiden. And I got almost halfway fucking Ryoko and whatever. Do we got a trailer? Can you link the trailer? Because maybe I will watch some of their cartoon porn. Oh, fuck, my legs. They don't want to work. My God, why do I drink? 2552 says, I remember Tenchi Muyo. I did like Universe a bit more because of Kione. I don't remember who that was, but I do remember. Nah, my waifu that I had the crush on was the little short black haired girl when he goes to Tokyo. That's a real style, like the having bangs and then you're that. I don't know if it's because it's not like possible or, but like. But like, I like that style of hair, so you know. The fuck could have been a fever dream. Yes, exactly. And then Orange Elite says Tolstoy putting on the vibes. I'm trying not to. My fucking legs don't want to work. Oh fuck! I need like a footstool underneath this thing. That'd be like really dope. Leg on armrest. Alf says Ninja Gaiden was hard as fuck on easy. Laughing my ass off. Yep, and that's how I played it. Actually, I think I played it on normal. And I actually got all the way to the last boss, beat the last boss, and then there's like some sequence where you have to run out of a volcano that's active. And like at that point, I was just like, no, I win. I've decided that I win. And I looked up the ending on YouTube and was like, yep, I'm gonna count that as a W. Fuck you. Maxwell says, funny part of being in public was I was mentally preoccupied and not really myself because theater bullshit. If you'd have caught me normally, I'm sure loud, excitable, find everyone's cool. Yeah. Your anime crush was not Sasami? Isn't Sasami the child? Are you a lolly? Is that what you're doing? Is that what you think you are? Because I will find you. Be under your bed tonight. With my sword, with my katana, with my long sword. No, I was either before Tenchi to Tokyo. I was Ayeka, believe it or not. Even though, well, okay, she's a stuck-up bitch, and now I'm more of a Ryoko kind of person. God damn, you sly dog! You got me monologuing. Like, fuck, we're literally talking about my waifu, but I don't give a fuck. And Ryoko and Ayeka, because she was a prude and didn't want me getting to second base, and but she was also kind of outgoing and kind of crazy. I mean, they're all crazy, but you can fucking take that shit to the fucking bank. And then Maxwell, very, very cute, I guess. Stephen Knight says Ninja Gaiden needs a reboot, and so does Shinobi. Yeah, word. No fucking way. Sasami had her own Magical Girls spin-off show. Of fucking course she did. She was the reincarnation of Yugi. I remember that. Something about that she was. And actually, isn't Grandpa San, isn't he like the reincarnation of like a Jiraiyan warrior? I really wish that I still had like any kind of picture, photographic evidence of me going to Otakon 2004 in full Jiraiyan battle outfit. That really happened, but it was before. So like I was chubby Tenchi. You know what I mean? Talk about cosplaying your body type. Fuck me, right? Incoming Pixel says, so my town just had their first 3 positive COVID cases. First time? The meme, I'm gonna meme. Kazlab says, you right, you caught me. My anime tastes are the same as Patrick. You like Girl and Panza? Orange Elite says, Ayeko was my second favorite. Word. Which is weird because like I go back and look at her hairstyle and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with your hair? Like, I'm not sure what Ryoko's hair is supposed to be because it's anime, but yeah, Ryoko is actually kind of more my ideal now. But you know that Ayeka was more prim and proper back when I was White Mana. Now that I'm Green Mana, clearly like fucking insane over the top. Nobody's really down with Washu or the 2 police girls. I think I don't feel like anyone they get any love. Maybe by like some extreme nerds, which I'm not a fucking nerd. So he says with a Bulbasaur and action figures and katanas. Fuck. To have wizard status is. I'm not really sure what you're asking me. Are you asking me if like being a 30-year-old virgins for friends like holding you back? Like I don't understand what we're talking about. Favorite Tenchi movie? I think there was only one, which was just the Tenchi movie where they go back in time. That I'm aware of. Kazlab also asks, what was my favorite year at Otakon? 2004. The first one. I was on Benzo, so I keep forgetting that. But no, nobody said that. I didn't say that.
Kane the Warlock says, watched the Sonic OVA movie? I fucking have. I have watched the Sonic. I cracked up so goddamn when he says the words, he tries to say Jesus Christ, and his like thick Japanese accent, he's like, Jesus Christo! And I was just like, nah! And I just kept replaying it and replaying it until my dad was like, you're gonna break the DVD player. It was so fucking good. Stephen Knight says, have you seen Love, Death, and Robots? No. Maxwell says, I actually like Tenchi Muyo. I never really got that into Rurouni Kenshin and Yu Yu Hakusho, but never watched it. I tried to get into Yu Yu Hakusho, but for some reason,
I'll fucking find it. Let me look up Thor Birch's titties first. Oh, they got gifs of that. Come on. Don't play games with me. Oh, actually, the blonde in that was pretty fucking sweet. God damn. I don't know what the fuck do I know it's gone. But it's just Tenchi in Tokyo. Nothing new. Tenchi collection. Yeah, but I need a link. Thanks, man. Because I can't find anything. And now my search engine believes I'm a weeb. Orange Elite 2552 says Ayeka had her two guards, Azaka and Kamadaki, and there was Kagato with his lightsaber. Fucking A, I remember all that shit. And also, it wasn't a lightsaber, it was a beam katana. So there's that. Kiyone was the police girl. Mihoshi was the dumb one. Mihoshi. Yeah. Talk about a space case. Maxwell McCormick says Tenchi Muyo had me at cat that turns into spaceship. It's not a cat, it's a cabot. Speaking of which, do I still have my little cabot? I had like a little the Ryoki figure, and I don't know where it went. I had the Tenchi Muyo. Max, how many have you had? Let's see if I can. Wow, I love how. Oh my fucking word. Topless. Yeah, fucking. Nice. Hey, she didn't turn out too bad. Huh. There it is. Yeah, man. Not bad at all. But you know how Tolstoy like them. Big old juicy titties. Oh, fuck. Okay. That most people prefer that you be. People would prefer that you lie to them to be real than be real about who you are. Like, they really. You know what I mean? I've always struggled with that. Like, you know, my parents are like, hey, man, don't tell your grandparents that you're a fucking psycho gun-wielding anarchist. And it's like, yeah, but then I'm lying about who I am. And that's not cash money, you know? But Sarah asks, did I sell my Cold Steel Espada? No, but I should. Do you want to buy it? Because I need money. Like, oh, I guess I should probably sell this fucking M Charizard EX. Like, somebody find the value of this thing, you know? Because I'm going to sell the shit out of that. I never liked Charizard. All the lame trainers pick Charizard. Let's take a look at the death toll. See if it's gone up. It was at 14.5. Nope, that's in North Carolina. Make sure that North Carolina hasn't had a single death yet. No deaths, bitches! Fucking heading on down to the land of the pines, going on down where the flu victims don't die. Okay. Maybe this will be over in a month or two, and I can get back to work. Yeah, Orange Elite says he had the McFarlane figure of Tenchi, and that was the one that I had, was the McFarlane one. High fucking quality, man. Fuck. You know what action figure I've always wanted, but I never... Oh, that's right. I did have a little Kubrick, but I always wanted a big one. But they never really made a, or anything from Cowboy Bebop. Well, I think they mostly made like models of the ship, but I didn't want the model of the ship. I wanted Spike. In a cool minute. It's been a couple of days. I should check on him because I know that California is under lock and key right now. F. I'm just spacing out, waiting for somebody to comment. I'm dead serious. Like, I've been streaming for 3.5 hours now. I know that you probably get a big old fat pile of kratom inside of me. Oh, yeah, look at that fucking fan. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Tim Taylor asks, the Smiths? No. Zach was really into the Smiths. I couldn't get down with them. I think the closest band to the Smiths that I could get down to, you're going to hate me, but Muse. Early Muse was good. Stephen Knight asks if I ever watched Inuyasha. Yeah, up to a certain point, I paid attention to because it was on Adult Swim, and I was an insomniac. Orange Elite says, there was it came with a base with the rose he had. Oh, fucking A. Yeah, man. That was probably the greatest anime ever made. I don't understand why most anime is garbage and they all just can't live up to the power of Watanabe or Miyazaki. Like, is it hard? Is it hard making Spirited Away? I mean, I know it's not easy, but you know, what I'm saying is like, I don't know. Why do they always produce such Mangda and only Mangda? I'm a Mangda man. I'm a Dapper Dan man. Well, all we have is Fop. I don't want Fop. I'm a Dapper Dan man. All right, I'm a Dapper Dan man. Oh, yeah, can you dribble? Yeah, sort of. He says Red Vein Mangda. It's been a while since I've done any Red Vein. Because, oh yeah, Bali actually, Mangda actually has a lower alkaloid content, so it's slightly lighter than Bali. I try not to play fucking games with that, because I'm not trying to be as fucking possible. Like, I basically do about a half a teaspoon a night. So I think that's the equivalent of like 5 grams, 3 to 5 grams, which isn't good, but it isn't bad. Sarah says, do you think The Division Bell is a good album? No. But I'm also not one of those hipsters that thinks Animals was a good album. Honestly, Sid, what was his name? Sid. But it does. Tim Taylor says, Oh Brother is a great fucking film. Oh, do you mean Oh, or for right there, brother? Yeah. Fucking, we're the Soggy Bottom Boys. 8-Man says, a man like Hayao Miyazaki comes around at once every 200 years. Yeah, and then he gets all emo, and he has weird mommy issues, but, you know, we're not ready for that conversation. Play a game of blackjack with myself. God, these are so fucking terrible, you can't even see what they are. Okay, well, you got 15. Do you want to hit? I'll actually wait for someone to respond. The first person to say whether or not hit, you know, you decide, man. Oh, and dealer has 1 covered card and a jack. So I believe that's 10 for now. So this is an interesting hand. And then Stephen Knight says, you ever see Spirited Away or Howl's Moving Castle? Oh, fucking course. Okay, Kane the Warlock says hit. All right, you got 15. Oh, you got an ace, so now you got 16. All right, you're at 16. God, I wish I could be drunk right now. Bro, you got to do stuff with your life. You can't just be keeping getting drunk, man. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Oh, hey, there's more Gatorade down here? Baller. Okay, all right. So Kane decides to stay. All right, so you're staying at 16. Let's see how dealer does. So Jack and... Oh, a 5. Okay, so dealer's at 15. Dealer draws for a hit. 18, dealers. Sorry about that. All right, let's do another one here. All right, dealer deals himself first for some fucking reason. All right, so it's a 4 and a covered card. And ooh, you are at see, math is involved. 15. Hit or stay. Oh, fuck. Okay. Kane says he's gonna hit. Ooh, nope, you bust. That's 2 9s and a 6. God damn. Well, it's 9:30. How's the Joker look on this? That's an interesting Joker design. You kind of can't see it. But anyway, all right. Well, I think I'm gonna probably wrap it up here. Still getting myself ready for my evening ritual. That sounded so much creepier than it really is. Like, I need to put on some socks because my feet is cold. Thanks for staying up with me, guys. Dealing with my crazy ass bullshit. Everyone's just noping out. They were like, yeah, we were waiting tomorrow. I have shit I have to get done. Serious legal shit. So, Godspeed.